Say in your mind, say to yourself, I am more than my physical body. Because I am more than physical matter, I can perceive that which is greater than the physical world. I deeply desire to expand, to experience, to know, to understand, to control, to use such greater energies and energy systems as may be beneficial and constructive to me and to those who follow me. I deeply desire the help and cooperation, the assistance, the understanding of those individuals whose wisdom, development, and experience are equal to or greater than my own. I ask their guidance and protection from any influence or any source that might provide me with less than my stated desires.
Do not know all the answers to the questions about reality. Do not claim to know the ultimate truth about life. I seek that which has been made hidden. As a part of a family and explorers of consciousness. I'm the void one.
Welcome to Lighting the Void.
Broadcasting live from a shack on a hill in the Mossy Creek bottoms of Cane Creek, Arkansas. This is Lighting the Void, live on the Fringe FM, and thank God for that, right? We're live on the Fringe FM. We're also live on YouTube, and we are live, looks like on Twitch. I told you guys I'm still trying to figure out Rumble, but I will get back on Rumble shortly. But for those of you that have supported, I'm going to say your names during this broadcast. For those of you that have, we actually got shut down for a little while because we didn't reach the support goal, and we barely got the support goal back by the skin of our teeth, which I can understand. It's rough times right now. But for those that have, you guys need to understand, like, the Fringe FM is a community thing. It always has been, it always will be, and we're having a meeting this week to turn it into a community thing. It seems like every show I go on, it's like Joe Roop from the Fringe FM, Joe Roop from the Fringe FM, Joe Roop is Lighting the Void. The Fringe FM belongs to a set of people. That includes you, me, the show host, all the people that support. It belongs to us. So this week, I'm going to find a way to make sure that happens, like from top to bottom. Number one, because it's going to make my life a little easier. But secondly, I think it'll just function better that way, period. Because we're moving into a time right now where, like I told you guys, information is coming at us like crazy, and people are really into doing their thing and expressing themselves and all this stuff. We could argue about if it's going to be the age of Aquarius or whatever, but you can just observe and see that's what's happening. When that happens, everything will plateau. Everything that you do, no matter how successful it becomes or not, will plateau. And when things plateau, you either change or you try to hold on to the past. That's just human nature. That's what we do. We have to change in order for it to grow, like make some real big changes. And it needs to be more of a network of people. It doesn't mean we're going to take away I don't think it'll take away anybody's individuality whatsoever. It should enhance it. Anyways, it's kind of a tough subject tonight, but I do want to thank the people that have supported. Also, Michael, your t-shirt's on the way. Gareth, your t-shirt is being printed. Yeah, we're shipping them. We'll ship them all the way to London, man. All the way to England. And yours is being worked on right now, so thank you guys for that. But if you want to support this show, I have a Patreon you can join, and there's been a few people that have joined that. There's also a shop there where you can get some of my audio downloads, meditations, and readings and stuff like that. So with that out of the way, I don't have some really good news to tell you. But I waited long enough because credit should be given where it's due. Before I say this, I want to make it really clear, because I always see this happen. And for this gentleman that whose name I'm about to say, if there is any drama started, because this is all about him, just him. If you take this moment that's happened in life to cause drama, it's not going to be good. I'm just going to say that because I see this every time this happens. Please have a heart. So I'll tell you about my experience, and then I'll bring a colleague of mine on here in just a minute. When I was traveling, when the Fringe FM started actually picking up, right, and I was traveling, I went to New York, I went to Arizona, went to Florida, back and forth to Arkansas a couple times. There was a guy that was helping me the whole time, right? And he was behind the scenes. He helped me build the entire archive from 800 and something episodes, and helped me redo the whole thing so that we could have something for the subscribers, right? So that we could have something for them. Now, things never really took off the way they needed to. And as any good friends would have it, we had our debates back and forth, right? But this guy, if I called him at night, it didn't matter what time it was. It didn't matter. I could be on the road by myself out in the middle of nowhere. I could call him. I could be on the verge of a breakdown. I could call him. He was there for me. And I don't know if you guys remember, but his name is, well, we called him Rohan. That's what we called him. He was a friend, a good dude, a lovely person, probably more of a void walker than I've ever been. And one of the most underestimated minds I've ever seen or heard of, ever. And for some reason, he decided that he didn't want to be here anymore. I don't know why. And I wish I could have gotten to talk to him, because I don't know why. I don't know what happened. But he's no longer with us. So, you never know what someone's going through. Ever. And because I've been there before, we've all been there before, where we put on a smile, we do what we have to do, we go out in the world, we say what we have to say, we put on a happy face, we do all kinds of stuff, but behind the scenes, in our hearts, something is going on that we're struggling with. And I'm asking you guys, if this is ever like it happens or you feel this way, please reach out. Just like Gareth did, reach out. I don't care if you're scared, afraid. I don't care what it is. Just reach out. Because I kind of wanted to talk about the mind tonight, but then I've been scrambling all day trying to wrap everything up from the birthday thing. And thanks for all the happy birthdays. I appreciate that. But more than anything, I'd like to celebrate this guy. I don't know why And maybe some of us will never know why he decided he didn't want to be here anymore. I really wanted him to come, and I'm not talking about here on the show, like he passed away. That's not, so that's all I know. And for me, for someone like him, it's hard to explain, man. There were some hours and hours and hours of phone conversations I had with this guy, Rohan. There were nights when I thought I was gonna lose it, man. And he was there, and he understood everything. Like, he understood all of it. He could relate words to me about how I was feeling like nobody that I've ever talked to before. And I would have really loved to have been able to speak to him one more time, you know. And I think for anybody that's got a friend or a loved one, that, man, if you even get a feeling, yes, Genevieve, you did. If you get a feeling like something's going on with somebody, even if it's like an intuitive thing, ask. We ask each other this at the Fringe sometimes. Are you okay? How's everything going? Are you sure? Because that's all you got to do. Sometimes you just got to say, are you sure? Because most people will respond and say, yeah, I'm great, I'm fine. Hey, just pause for a second. If you really care about the person, and just say, are you sure? And then they'll think, and then they'll open up to you. That's been my experience with it. But yeah, man, we talked about everything. Astral travel, out-of-body experiences, pretty much every kind of conspiracy thing there is. He has a show called the Exiled Minds podcast. I believe his broadcasts are still out there if you want to check them out. Positive guy too. This guy was not like, if he was pissed off, you'd know it. That's for sure. But like he always uplifted the room, you know. He related to everybody. I love the guy. And I miss him. And I missed him before this happened. I don't know the details. This is what I've heard. I don't know. I don't want to really get into the details. I don't want this stuff to happen. I didn't even want to talk about it, but at the same time, I feel like he deserves so much, man. This guy deserves, especially when it comes to all of the shows and all of the stuff that he's helped with and all of the friends he's been there for. He's been around for all of us for a while. So Jess did a show the other night. I didn't even know what happened until I tuned into her show. And she was crying on the air, and something was wrong. Like, this wasn't the normal 3-second cry that Jess lets out when she's a little upset. Something was really wrong. So yeah, it's been crazy. It's been a crazy weekend for sure. A lot of people are hurting in ways that we don't know about, and nobody wants to talk about it because it's not positive, or it doesn't help their career, or it kills their vibe, or it doesn't help them get somewhere in life. And all that's bullshit. Because I think we're going to find out soon enough that all of that isn't going to amount to a damn thing once it all plateaus. Once this information highway plateaus to a point, we're going to be forced to come together and really get to know each other. We're going to have to. So, I've done nothing but like I've thought about this I wasn't feeling good yesterday, even though I really do appreciate all the birthday wishes. I thought it would have been nice to hear his voice on that day. That's really all I thought about. And yeah, so it's hard to even do a broadcast tonight. Like, so Jess is going to come on. I got to get her video squared up. So I might take a short break, but and if anybody wants to share some love for Rohan, we can open the phones up, but I miss him already. And I missed him before. I hadn't talked to him in months and months. I figured he was mad at me. Most people really love me or they hate me. There's no in between. And Rohan's kind of one of those guys that he'd love me and hate me and come back, but he always told me he loved me, right? And he meant it. So he was a real dude. And even as real, and this is my point, and even as real and authentic as he was, right? Like, underneath there was still something there he was holding on to, which I don't know what it is. I'd give anything, and I'm sure a lot of you would that know him would give anything to be able to go back and help heal that. So that's pretty much all I wanted to say. You know, peace of mind means a lot. I put out a meme on Facebook that says that, you know, like, a real man doesn't do stuff for money or status, fame, wealth, any of that stuff. They just settle where they have a peace of mind. And sometimes, I'm not speaking for Rohan, I'm speaking for myself here. Sometimes you can get in a place where you can get to where you just don't trust anything because you've been hurt so much. You don't trust anything. No matter how close people get to you, there's always a level of distrust because somewhere you gave your whole heart to something. Maybe once, maybe twice. Maybe you really surrendered to something. You were brave and you still got crapped on for it. And I don't think, other than physical stuff, there's anything that hurts more than that. So if you're going through that and you have a friend, reach out. If you don't have a friend, then reach out to the station. We're not a hotline, but I promise you, if someone reaches out to us and says, hey, I understand this, I'm going through this thing, just like freaking Gareth did, like that open, I promise you, one of us will be there to help. For now, I know we can do that. So Karma Michelle says, so many people suppress the negative feelings, and I think this is really dangerous. Yeah, it's like, who was I telling this to the other day? I forget who I was telling this to, but I think it was Anthony, right? After I got through reading his book. You can go on YouTube and read all the stuff about how you're supposed to act, or read books about how you're supposed to be this even stoic being and stuff. Like, there's so much stuff out there telling you how you're supposed to be, yet the emotions and the thoughts are still in there. Imagine if you ate food and never digested it. You know what happens, right? Imagine if you drank water and you never peed, or you breathed in and never breathed out. But we're taught that the stuff that we feel is bullshit, or it doesn't, or it's some kind of weird thing. I'm not saying flip out on how you feel. A reaction matters, but to not express it, whether it's through communication, through art, through whatever, exercise, whatever. If you don't let it out, if you don't process it, it backs up. And it seems like when things back up in you, they either back up in your body or your mind. And then the cycle of torture begins until you really let it go. I've been going through one of these weird, like, psychological things since I've started Anthony's book, and then I heard about Rohan, and it, you know, like, this happens to a lot of people, but Rohan, it's different when you really know somebody, right? Like, it's different when you know the person, when you are friends with them or family or whatever. So anyways, I would have liked to had all this prepared, but things were so crazy today trying to catch up to last month's support so we could turn everything on. And then You can ask Jess when she comes on. I just started the show like 10 minutes before the show even started. I don't really the shotgun approach thing. But anyways, we love you, man. And now I have another person that I'm going to try to visit if I get out of body or whatever. I'd like to see old Rohan, hear from him again. And if you want to hear from him, if you want to hear what he has to say, or just see what he liked to talk about, or just see the stuff that he liked to do and discuss, you can just look up Exiled Minds podcast. I found it the other day, actually. I thought I'd lost it, but I found it. And it just sucks. It really sucks. So, I knew about this like a while ago, but I didn't want to say anything because I didn't even know if it was my place or not, but I've been looking around and nobody's saying anything. And I don't know what he would want us to do. I really don't, other than just say, I love you. So I'm going to take a short break and then try to get Jess on here. I just got to move her window so that she can actually come on the broadcast and chime in a little bit. And then I'll open up the phone lines if you guys want to give a shout out to our brother. But anyways, yeah, let me put on some tunes real quick, and then we'll just get this break out of the way, and then the rest will just be broadcast the rest of the night for the mighty, mighty Rohan, for sure. All right, we'll be right back. Hold on just a second.
This portion of the show is being brought to you by Ed's Decaffeinated Caffeine for people who like feeling nervous and wide awake but hate running to the bathroom all the time.
The future of medicine is already here. Protect yourself and those around you from the effects of electromagnetic radiation and recharge your body with life energy. This is your chance to take control of your balance, your quality of life, and your future. The effects of Centropic products have been verified from a scientific point of view and can be backed up with research. This is future technology, a biotech enterprise with breakthrough technologies that facilitate the protection, regeneration, and recharging of both human and animal populations. These patented wellness devices can help optimize energy and performance, speed up regeneration, and protect you from the harmful effects of non-thermal e-smog. Get back to feeling your best with a new level of clarity, vitality, and balance with the advanced and effective products of Centropics. It's as Albert Einstein said, the future is here, and future medicine will be the medicine of frequencies. Get started on your wellness journey by going to advancedwellnesstechnology.com or fringe.fm/bioenergy.
Have you ever wondered, what do the stars say for me? Or, will the next month or the next year be more favorable? How about, are our two signs compatible? Each month at the new moon, you can ask these questions live with me, your astrologer psychic, Mary DeCina, along with host of Lighting the Void, Joe Root. Join us at the new moon for Cosmic Conditions. We look forward to working with your energy.
Every new moon at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on Fringe FM. Bumper stickers are a fun side hustle with low-cost investment that has built-in advertising to attract local customers in parking lots, rallies, gatherings, conventions, venues, and more. You could potentially sell these bumper stickers on consignment to local businesses, tattoo parlors, head shops, or any other independently owned store that might gear toward the Fringe. Bumper stickers are great gift-giving ideas for friends and family. Also, a way to wake up your fellow travelers on the path without having to waste energy in tiresome debates. No car? No problem. Bumper stickers will stick to just about anything with a semi-smooth surface. Go to www.justbsme.com and get your bumper stickers today.
Grammar lessons for today's show was provided by old Mrs. O'Malley, who have been teaching we local citizens how to talk good for more longer than 13 years.
Listening to Lighting the Void Radio.
As you can tell, I didn't have time to pick out the music for tonight's broadcast, really. So I hope either Jess or Michael Strange or somebody does like a better... we need to do like a... I don't know, man. Something like a send-off show to Rohan or something, you know? Something.
Like a memorial show.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on, Jess. I could really use...
Thanks for having me.
Your support here. I'm shaking, man. Like, I don't like,
I know.
You know, I've never had to talk about this kind of stuff before, you know?
I know. And it's hard. It's hard. And it's, you know, it's messed me up all week. You know, even when I did my show, I didn't know if it was like, okay to say Rohan's name. So I didn't even say who it was when I talked about him on my show.
Yeah. Well, I don't care. He deserves it. If like he deserves to tell, like, I hope he can hear this, man, because he's one of the best dudes I ever met in my life. Everybody should be saying that right now.
Yeah. He was just such a kind soul. You know what I mean? And, you know, and you've talked to him and I've talked to him, and sometimes we would just talk about stupid things. Like we got into this whole thing about gardening, and he was talking about putting manure on everything, you know, and telling me his secrets to growing vegetables.
Yeah, he taught me a lot of tech stuff too that I didn't even know. Like one of the guys, I would always try to brag and show people, hey, I know I figured this out. And he'd be like, oh yeah, well you can use your camera, check this. And I'd be like, damn, you know, he knows even more tech stuff, right? Like he really had the hell of a brain on him, you know?
God, like I remembered and I sat there and I recall like the first time I heard him on your show, right? And I was like, this guy he talks about like everything and he knows so much. And, you know, talking to him, you just kind of learn like he was a smart guy and he knew so many things and he was always willing to share that with you. Like one time we had a conversation and I said, oh, Rohan, I feel kind of burnt out. I can't think of any topics. And he's like, Jess, I could send you like 50 off the top of my head right now, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, he's, you know, when I left to leave Arkansas, which is like it's not a big deal I talk about it all the time, but for me, it's a big deal. Like if you've been in a small town for, I don't know how many years of your life, you know, and like at the time I'd call my girlfriend sometimes to try to get some emotional support, but you know how that goes, right? Like they can only take that so much. And then, so I'd hang up and then it wouldn't matter. Like I would text Rohan at some point and then be like, dude, and just try to keep him on the phone. And he never would be like, he would never, while I was driving around and stuff, he would never say, hey man, I got to go. I really got to take care of something. Like he never left. You know, he could have and probably should have. I probably talked his head off, but he was there all the time. And it didn't matter. Like I could go as deep as I wanted to with him and he could relate to it, you know? So yeah, it's been crazy. Like it's just been, I don't know any details about why he decided to do this, or I don't think Jess does either. And I don't think
I don't know either. And I had shared with Joe, I said, you know, the last time I talked to him, he was in really good spirits. This was, you know, before the turn of the year. And he was excited for what was coming. You know, he had a job lined up. He was going to move. And I said, dude, just kind of keep me updated on what's going on. He's like, will do. And then I didn't hear from him.
Yeah.
And this was next.
Yeah. You know, there was a thing I'd like to mention though. And I don't like, I know there's something that he related to me about that really hurt him. And that we would both kind of like, this might not even be what it was. It could be something else, but you can only sit and think about like, what was it, you know? But he really went out of his way for people. Right. Like he really, really, really went out of his way for me. You know, to a point to where I should have said, no, dude, this is enough.
Yeah.
But I was so caught up in my own shit at the time because I'm just a ball of stress. And I think we tend to do that. When we're in pain or stress or whatever, we forget to think about, you know, other people sometimes who make it about us. And he never left. That's what I'm saying, man. Like he never left, or he never done that thing where it's like, you know how some of your friends would be like, you know, I got shit to do, man. You know, like,
yeah, like
he never left. He would hang out with you for as long as you could possibly want to hang out with him for, you know. See, even Pat said I talked for hours about using the crystals that I sent him on the phone, stuff like that, you know?
Yeah. It's hard to talk about too, right? Because you kind of wonder if you could have said something, you know, if you said something, if that would have helped, you know what I mean? I think we all a difficult part of it.
I reached out to him a couple times. I'm like, where'd you go? What are you doing? And I figured he was just focusing on his podcast and stuff. But
yeah,
people need to know like what he did for this show and the network, this show, my show specifically, imagine 800 and something episodes, and you're just
That's
up
a
at night
lot.
on the computer, and you're uploading them one by one to a different RSS feed. So the other members, like, who does that? I mean, who does that?
Who does that? No, Rohan does that. You know, he
did it fast too. I don't
Really?
know how the hell he did it. Yeah, he was like he was. I think his mind was faster than the stuff he was working with half the time. You know.
Yeah, no, he was like he'd always have something, an idea, a topic, like just chatting with him, you know. Yeah, and he'd jump from topic to topic, but then he'd tie it all back together, you know.
When was the first time I heard him? Where did I hear him at, man? I don't even remember how we met. I just remember like seeing his name, Rohan, and he would say cool stuff. And it finally, I don't know if he finally like called in or whatever. And then he had that really, you know, kind of Cockneyish, fast English voice. And I was like, dude, this guy is so freaking cool. And his name is Rohan, right? Like everybody just immediately fell in love with him.
Yeah,
I know I did, you know. So, I don't know.
he was just, I think that was like his personality, right? Like everybody immediately fell in love with him. And, you know, I think the kindness of his soul really showed through, and that's what attracted people to him, you know. And his cool accent. He did have a really cool accent, and he had an awesome way of talking.
Yeah, he did. He was one of the first people, like him or Brian was one of the first people that was like, what he would put me in check. That's what I loved about him too. You know what I mean? Like he wouldn't, because I did have some people in my life, and I think we all do, right? Where they're just nice and they just want to agree with you all the time. And then he'd be like, well, what are you doing? And I'd tell him what I was doing, either for someone or whatever. And he's like, fuck that. That's crazy. Don't do, why are you doing that, man? You know? And I'm like, I don't know. Right. Yeah. So, and then it always turned into some deep existential conversation, right? You know? So like he was definitely, we all were talking to trying to get him to come to the States. For some reason, I felt like that he felt isolated there, you know, or something. I don't know. But like we were all wanting him to come here, which sucks because we all kind of met each other as friends at the time. I think when around COVID started happening, right? Like when all this COVID stuff. So things were difficult to begin with, you know. But to get someone to leave their country, like he really, didn't he say he was going to do that? And he wanted to come
he
here?
said he had plans to come here. He had a job lined up on the East Coast with a buddy of his, and he was so excited. He said, like, there's so much more opportunity there, you know, all my friends are there, you know. He said, you know, said, I want to, you know, maybe I could do a homestead, you know. He was just really excited, and he really felt, you know, like it was something good was happening, and I was so happy for him to hear this. So that's kind of what I assumed was continuing on, that he was happy, he was coming to America, coming to the United States, getting to be here, you know.
I don't know what else to say, man. Like you guys are more than welcome to call in too. I think, let me just check these settings, because I say that every time and then I can't, like, there's so many settings, man, you got to do with this stuff. But
there's so many settings, and then when you're trying to mess with them while you're doing the show, you're like, man.
Yeah.
And it can take your attention. So I understand that. But
yeah.
With
I want them back.
I know. And that's the hard thing too, right? It's like you just want to have that conversation with him, and when you have that realization that it's just, you can't talk to him, you can't message him, you can't give him a call, you know.
Well,
That sucks. I think the hole, that void, sucks because it'll never be filled again with that person.
Yeah, like have you ever had a dream? Like this is like that weird dream that you have that you lost somebody that you cared about, and you wake up and then you're like, oh, that didn't really happen. That feeling, but it really happened. So it sucks.
It does, and and it's difficult too because sometimes you think you're like, oh, these are people that I've never met in real life, and how can this really hurt that bad? And it makes you realize too that the relationships that we develop doing this, and with our audience, with our guests, with our friend hosts, our colleagues, and these are real relationships, and you realize how much of an effect they have on your life too, regardless if we've met or not.
Man, I think I got so frustrated with the fact that I couldn't talk about, like, I couldn't, I think every one of his friends that, especially here lately, if you're a friend to anybody that decides, hey, I don't want to be here no more, and then they mean it and they leave, you always think that, well, I could have done something. You start making it about you. I could have done something. Or you think, and here's the fucking truth of the matter, is maybe, that's what sucks. It's like maybe if any one of us would have had it, that's what I mean, man. Like from here on out, dude, if I get any inkling that someone's not okay, I'm going to ask, are you sure?
Yeah.
Not just, are you okay? Fine. Bye. Like, no.
Peace.
Like from here on out, are you sure? Yeah. I mean, because that's all you can do. I mean, you can just reach as far as you can reach. And it takes two people reaching,
Yeah.
So are you okay, Jess?
I'm just feeling sad, but also, I read what Brian's saying, and
So Brian was going to put him up, huh?
Yeah,
is that what he's saying? He's
we
going
were
to get him over?
scheduled to meet up last November. Oh.
Yeah, because he actually, you know how long it's been since he died? It's been since October, right? Was it October?
I think March, right?
I thought it was March. I thought you told me it was October. Is it March?
Hold on. It's March because I had him on my show in December.
Okay.
So according to, let me check this, March 21st.
We gotta reach out there to him. Tell him we love you, buddy.
Yeah.
It's hard to talk about. Like, it's just hard to talk about. But everybody that listened to this show, Jess's show, like Michael's show, what other shows did he listen to? Like, he listened to a lot of shows, or that he was involved with. He was involved with a lot of people's shows, and everybody loved him. And this wasn't a guy that was trying to be buddies with everybody so everybody would love him. This was actually a very rare dude that was just who he was, and everybody loved him, See, those are like super rare to me, because I usually respect and love people that are kind of loved and hated a little bit, because they stand for something.
More real, right?
Yeah, they're a little bit more real, but like he was real across the board. There's just something that he didn't want to share, You just don't fucking know. You don't know what people are going through.
You don't know, because, they can put on that mask of, I'm okay while they're hanging out with you, while they're talking to you. But, when you're alone, it's different.
Word Salad said, I had a dream that my uncle died the night before I heard that he died a few days earlier. That's trippy, man. That's really trippy.
Yeah.
Most of the times when I have dreams about people passing away, like, they don't pass away.
That's good.
You can almost bet if I have a dream about you passing away, you're not going to pass away.
Okay, that's good. That's good to know. See,
Because I think a lot of times it has something to do with the unconscious that like is trying to show you how much you care for somebody. Usually, if I have a dream that somebody's passing away, I probably just got in a big fight with them. You know.
Yeah, it's like your subconscious is saying they're dead to you.
Yeah, or it's showing you like, no, you really care about this person.
Ah.
Because you wake up, if you wake up hurting or crying or whatever, you're like, what the hell? Like, none of that was worth it, you know?
No, right?
Sylvain says Michael did a show for him too. That's good.
Oh, nice. Like,
I'm not a dream interpreter. I'm just saying, like, that stuff is.
But
pretty
who
trippy.
better to interpret your dreams than yourself? Because you know what's going on.
Yeah, my dad, like, this is the kind of stuff Rohan would talk to us about, by the way. All right? Like, he would just stay on here and talk. Like, my dad had a dream. He came to me. This is like a breakthrough, Jess.
Oh.
He came to me and started talking about mystical stuff with me.
Wow.
And he had a dream that he was telling me that he got attacked by a hog that had a messed up horn, like a messed up tusk, you know? One tusk was really messed up and it attacked him. So he saw these hogs come out on a trail that he was just jogging on in the woods behind the property back here. So he's just jogging. He sees two little baby hogs come out and he doesn't think anything of it. And then a big hog comes out, a really big one with some messed up tusks and starts to attack him. So then he takes the four-wheeler ramps, ATV ramps, four-wheeler in the South, and he's holding up the four-wheeler ramps, and this thing is trying to kill him, right? It's trying to bite him and kill him. And he said he saw these two people. Two kids, a girl and a guy walking down the trail, and Dad didn't have a gun on him. And he told him, he said, "Hey, do you have a gun?" And the kid said, "No, but I'll run and go get you one." Right? So the kid ran off to go get Dad a gun, and this thing's trying to kill him. And my dad's telling me this the whole time, right? And you could see he just woke up from this thing, so he's nervous. And he said, I knew, like, this first time he's been lucid, he's like, I knew that kid wasn't going to come back in time, you know, before this hog ate me. And I started thinking about, like, what the hell does that mean? And he asked me, he was like, your name's Joseph Daniel, right? Like, you should be able to interpret that dream. What does that mean? And I'm like, I don't know. But I think sometimes our dreams tell us stuff. Like word salad, something told him that, you know. It is our word salad to him, her.
Her.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
But, because you know, imagine what we would know about people if we could actually interpret their dreams as good as they should be able to interpret their own dreams. You know?
Yeah. I mean, dreams are weird, right? Over the past, probably, I don't know, maybe a year or so, I've been kind of paying more attention to my dreams. I've been having a lot more lucid dreams, you know, so I feel like the dream world is a crazy, crazy thing, right? And when you try to interpret them, sometimes you're like, well, what the hell did that even mean?
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a really good point, Dragon Rose. Has anybody heard from Nightstalker? Like, was he on Michael's show? Can anybody get in touch with him?
From him in a while.
Like, see if he's okay. Make sure he's okay. You know, after I heard about this, I went and found everybody's old videos. I sat up at night watching everybody's old videos, and I watched some of Rohan's podcast, and then I went and watched, because Rohan left links to everybody's stuff, you know, and so then I went and watched Nightstockers. Like have you seen the Nightstockers video that he put up?
I don't know if I have.
Are you serious? Like, he put up a video a while back that was so awesome. It's like a montage of him like stocking shelves late at night in the grocery store, flipping boxes around. He's like really fast, like super
he's the
crazy good
Nightstocker.
at it. Yeah. And then he starts going into all these different mystical things and stuff on his YouTube channel. I don't know why he didn't keep doing it, because it was such a cool skit.
He's a funny guy, and he's a creative guy. I love talking to Nightstalker.
Yeah. Yeah. No, what is the name of that damn movie where they're like checking out stuff and it's got Jessica Simpson in it and they're trying to see who's the fastest. They're all fighting for that girl, you know?
Is that...
That's Nightstalker.
Somebody knows the name of that. Come on.
That's how good he is. Like, he could really do tricks with the boxes and the box cutter and all this stuff. So he should have kept that going, man.
Yeah, you got to find that link for me.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find it. I stayed up like almost all night just watching and listening to stuff from years ago, trying to put together the Fringe Fest videos. That there's still some that are missing. I'm trying to put together, you know, because all that debacle.
So is that coming along?
Slowly, yeah, but I'm missing some videos, man. Well, this is like one of the biggest events we ever did on the station.
Right.
And everybody's like, hey, did anybody besides Joe press record? You know, poorly played. For the recording
It was
side.
the first. My defense on this. It was the first time out. We kind of didn't quite know what we were doing.
Yeah.
So my second defense on that is I think we'd do better a second time, and the third time would be even more better.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. So, you guys want to know who we're talking about? If you're new to the broadcast, his name's Rohan. I used to call him the Mighty Mighty Rohan. And he has a podcast called the Exiled Minds Podcast. It's kind of like, it's really not weird. I can't think of a word for it. Surreal now or something like nostalgic. Watching his podcast. And I guarantee you, if you watch his podcast, the Exiled Minds Podcast, or listen to it, you're going to be like, man, it's one of those podcasts that you listen to and you're like, oh, this dude should do more stuff, you know? So, damn it.
Yeah, it's
just sad.
It's really sad, you know. It's been bothering me, and I've done what I normally do. I will bury myself in working on things so that I don't really have to think about it, you know.
Did you take down your show that you were crying?
I think I had the balls to leave it up. I think it's still there. I cried a lot, guys, because I had found out just a couple hours before my show, I got a message from Michael explaining what happened, and I was like, and then I just like laid there and stared for a while, right? And I was like, no, I'm gonna go on. At least I can talk to, you know, some people and not sit here and just kind of stare and cry off into the distance. So I went on and I tried to play it off, and I totally lost it. And there's a lot of moments of me pausing because I'm just crying. And generally, like Joe did say earlier in the show, generally I can turn it off within a few seconds and stop it. But I couldn't. And I was like, oh, this is bad. This is bad, you know, because it was such a shock. And just knowing that person's not here anymore, yeah, it messed me up pretty bad. You know, it made me sad, and it made me like reflect on just, you know, all the moments, all the chats we've had, you know, and
yeah, this goes back years, right? Like I would think at least like 2019 for me, you know, 2020, and 2019, something like that.
Yeah. Around that time, I think even that's around the time I came around too, you know, and that time period till now, it's like there is that certain connection, right? And you're like, all those years, and it just ends.
How old was he? Does anybody know?
shit. I think he was. I'm gonna look because I think we talked about it because his birthday was in December. I'm gonna look. I might actually know how old he is, but it'll take me a moment. Okay.
What do you think about that? That's kind of a crazy question, but what if? No, maybe that's a question for a different show. Like, I just often think about, you know, people suffer in ways we don't even know sometimes, right? Like we don't know because we don't know. And then you want to talk to somebody about, hey, so-and-so decided to take their own life or whatever. And it's like people have a stigma or whatever about it when really you should just miss that person, you know. That's it. Like Gareth reached out. You know, he was going to have to leave the country so that he could end his life the way he wanted to end his life. He don't have to now, but that was going to happen, you know. And to me, that's like, I mean, imagine all of the stuff that you're dealing with in your life and then someone's actually dealing with that. So pretty much everything that you think is bad, it isn't that bad, is it? You know, like if you're suffering to the point where you have to decide about those things or you really want to do those things, something is really, really bad, man. You know. And you don't, and see, I can understand, like guys like Rohan and people that are genuinely good people that have good hearts, somewhere along the line, they also were taught that they don't want to be a burden to people. Because asking for help is a burden. Someone treated them that way, whether it's their parents or their first partners or friends or siblings. Someone treated them like they were a burden when they needed help. So they don't say anything, you know, because you can't trust it, you know. I don't give a damn, man. Like, if you need help, you should ask.
Oh, 100%. If you need help or you need somebody to talk to, always just try, you know.
But they might have been raised by like people like I was raised with, you know, if I can't do it myself, then I'll do without, or I'll do this, or I'll, you know, I'm not going to be a burden on anybody. And it's like, man. So some people just go after something that they entirely need help with, you know, sometimes. Or they're just unaware of what's happening.
That too, right?
To me, the worst, there's a lot of like shitty people in the world, right? It's not like sunshine and rainbow land. But like Dolly Parton says, if you want to make rainbows, you got to have a little bit of rain, right? But the worst kind of person in my mind is if you take someone that's willing to go out of their way that much and then I don't even want to think about it. Just use that kind of person to your advantage. Or worse, make them feel like shit so they keep doing what they're doing for you. Like that kind of stuff gets to me. Pisses me off, actually.
Some people are just big assholes, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
Right? Like,
yeah. I mean, we can all be assholes, but
some people are really good people, right?
Yeah, like Rohan's a good person. This is my thing. Like his mind is so fast that, like if you start, let's say in the conspiracy world, if you start getting to where you don't trust people, okay, and then you don't trust. Like enough people break your trust, and then certain things you believe in break your trust, and then you have a super fast mind. You get to where no matter how much your heart feels something, there's always like this thing where you either don't want to burden somebody or don't trust it, and that's a fucking scary place to be. You know? That's the world that I feel like we're moving into, man. I'm not trying to laugh about it, but it's sad because nobody, like, if there's a video out there right now that will teach you all of the bad stuff that you need to be afraid of, and another video telling you that video is a lie, and that video is, and this is a lie, and that's a lie, until you're just doom scrolling, and then you want to take a break from it. Here's the shitty part: you want to take a break from it, you back off. You turn everything off, and then you go into your real world, and the people around you are doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm only saying that because, like, I've had so many conversations with him that even he was more, like, positive in certain situations than... He actually was a very positive dude for the most part, until you started talking about something that somebody really screwed somebody over. It kind of pissed him off, you know. I don't know how old he was. I think he was a little older than me. I think he was in his 50s.
I was trying to look because I think at one point what I recalled is we had a talk about the Chinese zodiac, but I couldn't find it. So we were trying. And I want to say, but I could be wrong, but I believe he was a monkey. I believe he was born in year of the monkey.
Oh, I thought you were saying he was a monkey. I'm like, what?
No, I believe he was born in that year. So I believe that's 1980, but I could be totally wrong. And I don't know if my memory is that good, but I believe he was.
Bryce said he posted something on Discord and then quickly removed it. And he said, I thought it was odd. And, yeah. And then Karma said it's scary to ask for help when you feel vulnerable because most people will take advantage. Yeah, because you can't trust them.
Yeah.
It had to do with the medical. Yeah, see, he did have something going on with his skin. Like he would send me pictures of, like, sometimes he blew it off like it was no big deal, but he was pissed off about it. Like something was bothering him. What the hell did he call it? He had some kind of condition that kept happening to his skin. I forget what he called it.
Oh, no, I didn't know this.
Peak novelty. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Terrence McKenna talks about that, where 1111, what's up? Peak novelty. Yeah, it's like you get to where you just, I mean, you don't trust anything. Everything's a freaking story. Everything's a... Dude, I don't even want to go there because I feel like I'm going to go crazy just thinking about it. I've been around, just so you guys know, like I've been around people that will constantly have you questioning your own sanity and your own feelings and stuff like that. And like, here's the one thing I want, and I am going to do a show about this and give you proof of what I'm talking about. So nature and God gave you emotions for a reason. Right. And it gave you a mind for a reason. And when anybody, and you don't have to call it narcissism or any of that stuff. If you feel a certain way and you say, I feel this way, and anybody says, no, you don't, or you shouldn't, or there's no reason to feel that way, or you're delusional, that's not good. Like, I feel this way, doesn't matter. This is the way I feel. Doesn't mean, well, I feel this way. Smack, hit somebody, just stating, hey, I feel angry, frustrated, sad, happy, hungry, alone, whatever. That's your truth at that moment. It's about as authentic as you can be, as being, if you really want to know what authenticity is, number one is being honest about how you truly feel and being able to express it. And then the second thing that we have to do after that, especially with all the shit that's going on, is if someone makes you try to question your own feelings and your own thoughts, is to tell them to fuck off.
100%.
Because, like, you don't have to be an asshole like that. But like, if someone's, it's like that thing I was talking about the other day with Jason. I watched this whole interview with this guy who all the evidence shows that he was not at the crime scene. Right? He just wasn't. Yeah. And the detectives were sitting there going, yeah, but, and he's like, man, he's like, I would never do this, right? Well, maybe you would. No. He's like, no, I wouldn't. And then they're like, well, if you do evil things, then your mind blocked it out, didn't it? Or like, you don't know what's best for you. I know what's best for you. I know what's for you. Don't, right? This is a grown man, and they broke this dude down to where he was crying and actually doubted his own mind, even though all of the evidence shown that he was not there. He's still innocent to this day.
Wow. They really get you with that cop talk.
It's not just that. It's just that whole idea of manipulation.
Yeah.
Because if you're not honest and strong with your emotions and your own thoughts, if you say, I know something, know it. Right? If I don't know, I don't know. Right? Or this is wrong or this is right. Or I feel this way. That's it. That's so simple. It's a very simple thing that you should never let anybody. I taught my son this too. I said, this is what you have. He even told me on my birthday, he said, thank you for teaching me this. It's helped me. Right?
Aww.
Like, I mean, there's a lot of manipulation going on. People are being taught to manipulate other people. You can look it up online. How do I manipulate someone? There's a step-by-step process on how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
How do I manipulate somebody so I can get what I want? Because I've got stuff I want to feel in life and experience, and everybody's just a novelty item in my life. Just like that detective did to that guy, right? Right?
Yeah.
I got to get this arrest. We know he did it. Doesn't matter. I'll get him to question his own mind and his own feelings.
So messed up. It's so messed up that people are like that. I mean, not even, and there are people like that in not like criminal situations like a cop. They're just people doing that to other people.
Hey, what's up, Nightstalkers? Good to see you, bro.
Oh, speak of Nightstalker and he appears. See?
Yeah, we were asking about you because just to make sure you're okay. I was telling everybody about your video, dude. You know, if you guys got to see that Nightstalker video, when I found out Rohan was gone, I started watching videos like crazy, and I watched that Nightstalker video like 4 times that night.
Oh, that's great.
I don't know what you put that together with, if you put that together with whatever video software you did, but you got to keep doing that, man. You know? And it's the same, dude, it's the same thing, like all the way around. If people, you know, if people want you to, like I've had people come to me and they do this low vibratorial shit where they want, well, maybe this person's that way. You ever think that they're doing this or that way? And that's just like more crap to me. Like if I want to know how somebody is, I'll go ask them. I'll go talk to them. I'll spend time with them. You know,
right?
I'm not going to listen to you badmouth somebody. It ain't going to happen. And if I'm sitting there, it's going in one ear and out the other because it's about as low vibratory as it gets. But it's like if you came to me and you were crying and you said, well, I'm sad. And I was like, well, maybe you're not sad.
Right. And then I'm like, what?
Maybe you've just been going through a hard time. And what you need to do is stoic yourself up a little bit, right? And don't react and cry to it so much. That's right. Hold it in.
Oh, stop crying. Yeah.
Until you get constipated. Do that. Hold it in until you blow up. Or, yeah, like when you know something's wrong, you're like, that's wrong. And then someone goes, no, well, it's all perspective. This is the problem. This is why people don't trust people, why people's hearts they're afraid to say anything. They're afraid to reach out because number one, they don't trust anybody. People have been taking advantage of them, manipulating them, and they can't, like, they get to the point where it's like, yeah, I know my feelings are real and my mind is real, but I can't even say it. I can't even, you know, it's stupid.
Right, because it's all
like, you know, let's say I call Jess a bad name. Well, that really hurt. Well, it's all perspective. It's all a matter of like, and now if you react,
right,
that's one, you know what I'm saying? It's like, no, it hurts. I care about this person. They said this thing about me. That hurts. I care about this person. They matter to me. It hurts. It's so, to me, it's dumb what's going on right now. Like, it's like there's this thing trying to train you to be this ultra super person so you don't get hurt anymore. And that's the only reason why people are trying to train you to be that way, is because that's what they believe they have to do so nobody gets hurt anymore. But nobody's going to come together and trust anybody or do anything if you don't express this stuff. Like, no one's going to do it. We're just all going to be in the void, man. You know?
Oh, yeah. No, I can't believe it.
If somebody breaks your trust, then they broke it.
Yeah.
They have to earn it back. But, like, you know, that's, I get angry about shit. Like, scouring the internet and doom scrolling, and it's just stupid, man.
It's why sometimes you do have to step away from the internet, and it's hard because, you know, when we do this work, there's so much of it that we're online anyways. And then, you know, we have to see some of this stuff. So it's difficult sometimes to like disconnect from it even.
Yeah. Pepe says there are totally yeah, there are people that are just, they're so caught up in their own world. Like, the best thing that they can do is manipulate you as fast as they can so that you can get on their story.
Man, that's why I always like to keep my circle small, you know, and not open it very often to new people.
I've changed that though, Jess. I mean, I keep my close friends, you know, like close, but I like to go out and I have some kind of weird vendetta against manipulative people or just shit talking people.
Yeah.
Or low. Like, I probably shouldn't do it because I'm 42. I probably should let that happen to, you know, let the youngins do that stuff.
Yeah.
But just the other day I had an altercation with a neighbor because he started trying to do that stuff to me, you know. Because he does it, you know, because he does it to all the kids out there, and he, you know, he starts talking down to people when they don't agree with him. He manipulates them into agreeing with him. And I just was walking by and I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" You know, right?
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah," you know. He started talking politics. I said, "I don't really care about it," you know. But thanks, you know. He's like, "Well, you should care about it." I said, "No, I disagree." Well, what kind of a person are you if you don't like it? I said, "Well, I just kept asking him, why do you say that? I disagree. And he just got pissed because people are used to you going, yeah, you know what? You're probably right. Or lying or whatever. So you can just move on about your day. And you don't have to. You can just look at them right in the eye. Specifically their left eye, look them right in their left eye and just be like, I disagree. No. Have a nice day. You know?
Yeah.
It's not hard. Don't be a bastard. Doom scrolling. Interesting terminology. I thought that was a old school saying, wasn't it? And people have been saying doom scrolling for a while.
Yeah, no, I kind of remember hearing doom scrolling kind of coming out, or people talking about it more during the pandemic, you know, like, oh, stop doom scrolling, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not
so Joe's out there hunting assholes, really, right now. That's what he does in the daytime.
Actually, I kind of do, honestly. I'm not saying like you have to, it's not about being right. I don't care. Like, I can have a discussion with anybody. Rohan and I used to talk about this all the time. I can have a discussion with anybody. But once they start trying to, we would talk about this. Once they start trying to mold your mind into thinking something or getting you to question your own thoughts, it's cool when two people can say, I disagree, and smile and move on. It's the person that is trying to like make you feel like crap because you feel a certain way, or twist your mind into you questioning how you feel and what you think at the moment. There's nothing wrong with someone saying, I disagree. Here's some reasons why I disagree. Maybe you should look at this. That's a whole lot different than going, oh, you know, you're just thinking that because you're this or that, or those feelings aren't real. See, those are two different things. That's the difference between a debate and an asshole. Right.
That's how you know. That's how you know they're an asshole. They can't debate.
It's like, just start a conversation with someone. If you're sad, just say, man, I'm sad. I don't mean at the grocery store where you don't have time to do it. But
Oh, shit.
if someone asks you, right, like, and you have time to talk to them, they say, "How are you?" "I'm sad." And to just see if they really genuinely want to know why, or if they start trying to mold your sadness into something that involves their story.
Ugh.
Like, I don't even want to go outside thinking about it sometimes, man. I just talk to the chicken.
No, the chicken seems like a nice chicken, but I don't think the chicken might be a good conversationalist, maybe a good listener.
The chicken got in my bed the other day. That's the last of it. That thing is about to get ate.
Don't eat her.
I'm serious. I left the door open. I'm not playing. So I left the
She
door
loves
open.
you.
I left the door open to the shack. I was outside putting the tractor up, and I came back, and the damn thing, I had to wash all my sheets. It didn't do anything in the bed, I don't think. But it's just sitting there,
chickened around.
just sitting there like, you know, like it's about to lay an egg. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Like, who? This is not a freaking, I didn't train this chicken. Matter of fact, I always tell it to get the hell out, and it keeps coming back in. Now it's like, oh, well, I'm just going to jump on your air mattress. That's a like $130 air mattress, by the way.
Oh, yeah. See, and she's jumping on it. She's not supposed to, but you got to train her to not jump on your bed.
I'm not training a chicken.
They're smart. You can train her.
Why the left eye? I don't know, Genevieve. It seems to work better than the right one.
Oh, so have you tried both then?
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, like, have you ever tried to look someone in their eyes?
Yeah.
You can't do it.
You can if you just go like this.
You can't look at both eyes at the same time. Your eyes will start doing this.
Yeah, you gotta go like this. Like each eye goes to the eye that matches, right? Like,
That's weird. It doesn't. Don't you feel? Do you feel weird when you do that? Because I do.
no, I mean I do it sometimes. Like maybe it weirds the other person out.
Probably just weirds me out. Then maybe you're right, because I can't. Like, if I try to look at someone's like both eyes, it gets creepy to me for some reason.
It's where their soul is, you know.
But if I look someone in the eye,
Just
I'm comfortable there. Like, I can stay.
so you can look longer.
Yeah, I can stay in one eye. It's when I'm trying to look at both. And I think when I was a kid, my stepdad used to do this thing, or not just my stepdad, where I had all these different parents and stuff that would get right in your face when they were trying to tell you something. They'd make you stand in front of them, and they get right in their face, you know. And they would actually, I didn't know what was happening, but they were trying to look at both eyes, and I would watch their eyes just go back and forth like this. That's how close they were, you know.
Oh man.
And if they would have just stared at that one eye, I don't think that would have happened. Maybe Blanche is an old flame reincarnated. I don't think so. I hope not. I must have done something really bad to women. Now that I think about it, I probably have, based on everything I've been through. And now I got chickens that won't even listen to me when I tell them to get out, you know.
The chicken loves you, Joe. She's a loving chicken.
I think Joe's going to try his first sacrifice. First magical sacrifice.
No, not her.
Never
Get a
did
different
voodoo
chicken that
before.
you don't know.
Try it. You know? You eat chicken every day like you care. All of a sudden you care about this one.
You know I do. And as long as I don't see feathers, I'm good, you know.
Isn't that weird? How one animal has to die a day for us to be happy, some of us.
I know.
I will kill that chicken and eat it. I'm not playing.
Get a different chicken. Don't eat her. Not yet.
Why? That other ones don't torture me. That one does. It's begging me to kill it.
It's because she likes you.
No, yeah. Imagine this, though. Have you ever watched, what's his name? Bill Burr, the comedian?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when he talks, that's like a woman that does everything in the world to try to get you to hit her, and then sits in front of you and goes, hit me, hit me, hit me, hit me. And you can't hit her. She probably deserves to be hit, but you can't hit her because you're a guy, you know?
Oh, man.
That's what that chicken does. I really think that animals have way more than what am I trying to say? Way more intelligence than we give them credit for.
Oh, what?
I've never put my hands on the chicken. I threw pennies at her before to try to get her to go away. But her name's Blanche.
Maybe with Blanche, if you want to, you just buy some chicken and eat it in front of her and be like, "Do you want this to be you? Don't go on my bed."
I've already done that. I've already ate
did?
eggs and chicken right in front of her and talked to her. You know I've done that already.
I know.
That's so crazy to think about too, right? Like,
imagine like a human, like, or some sort of being eating like human in front of you and being like, "Hey."
yeah, just eating feet and like licking the meat
like,
off the bone.
You know,
This could be you if you don't get out of my room, you know?
it'd be a giant. I don't know, but
And
it
that's my
would be weird.
That's my point. The next day, she's like, okay, and then gets up in the bed. I'm thinking that she wants me to eat her.
I don't think she wants you to eat her.
That's like it's almost like when you go hunt. You ever been hunting?
I have not been hunting.
So when you go hunting, there's always that one doe that comes around all the time. You don't want to shoot the doe.
No, it's a baby.
No, it's not a baby. But
Oh,
there's a
it's not?
season where you can kill a doe, right? And then there's a certain time where just depends on what the game wardens are cooking up. Sometimes, but me, I don't want to kill a doe. I'm looking for the buck. But the doe comes around and does everything to get shot. Everything. Just teasing you. Well, you haven't seen the buck all winter. You haven't seen it. I'm here. Shoot me. Shoot me. And that's what it's saying to you the whole time. Shoot me. Shoot me. Shoot me. Shoot me. But you know you're going to feel like crap if you do. And then eventually, it gets towards the end of the season. You hadn't killed a buck.
Then you're like,
You got to get some deer meat. Does are in season.
I wouldn't do it.
Did you say that Rohan passed away on March the 21st?
I did.
That's the equinox. Maybe Blanche is my karma. I don't know. That's the equinox. That's a hell of a time to pass.
Yeah.
You think he did it on purpose?
I think if he thought it out, I wouldn't put it past him for choosing the equinox.
Damn, that's heavy.
It is so heavy. So I know, we're talking about Rohan tonight. We are trying to lighten it up a bit too here in between, because darn it, it's hard to talk about
It's
the fact
conversations
that, like,
that we would have with Rohan about, actually.
yeah, I mean, he would probably be really great at this conversation that we're having. It's hard because a lot of the things we talk about, and especially Joe's been talking about a lot lately too, is like the afterlife and, and just realizing, like, in this kind of 3D where we are, right? This 3D form that we're in, that, like, yeah, sure, maybe we'll, have a message from him. Sure, maybe, we'll hear from him in a dream. But nothing compares to having him in this world with us. You know what I mean? So that's, I think, kind of this hard realization that's kind of heavy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty heavy, man. To me, it's pretty, I feel a loss for sure. To me, it'd be like losing you or Nightstalker or Genevieve or Brian, or I don't want to leave anybody out. I'm sure I'm leaving people out, but you get the point. Like,
yeah,
there's no words. Like, it's really crazy how deep of a friendship you can make with someone online that you've never met.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the paradox about the internet. It makes us all freaking crazy and paranoid, but it does bring us together,
Gosh, does it, right?
We just need to like go buy an island, right, and just start a commune or something.
Yeah,
and
some sort of something. Get a nice
fringe cult.
A fringe cult. You know, we should just. Oh, Nightstalker wants to call.
Go ahead and call in, brother. Let me see if I'll make sure I grab it. I hope I make the settings right. It's 501-777-5631. Yeah.
He said a few minutes. Okay.
He's probably slinging boxes, cutting them. If I ever needed a hitman with a box cutter, though.
Ooh, Nightstalker.
I'm telling you right now, if I needed a hitman, then I was like, hey, I need you to take this dude out with a box cutter, and I need you to do as fast as possible. Yeah. Like.
Done. Silent.
You got to watch that video, man. You guys got to watch it.
I got to see it.
He's got one of these. He's probably got a better one now, but he has one of these like really souped up box cutters.
And oh, no. What?
And it's almost like it's almost like you could call Skype if you want for sure. Well, don't do that because it might mess up my screen. Call the phone number. Yeah. But I think he has like a whole, I don't know if he's got a holster or not, but it seems like he's pulling it out like he does, you know.
Papa.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd play it on here, but YouTube tends to take down stuff, you know. I learned that one night.
I saw that happen too, and I was like, uh-oh, because this happened to me. But here's the thing. Do you not see other mother bleepers on YouTube playing YouTube videos, and they're still going, and there's like no problem?
I texted you about the YouTube thing. It has everything to do with what they labeled on their video. So if they label their video something or whatever, like you can't, especially if you're live streaming it and you pick it up and their video is labeled like it's a copyright.
Yeah.
It just triggers their system. There's not somebody there watching. It just triggers their system and they shut it down. Just like the music thing. And by the way, Debbie, I think your name's Debbie, whoever gave me my very first super chat sticker thing the other night, I didn't even see it. I feel like crap. I think your name is Debbie, but thank you for the $5 on YouTube. I appreciate that. Yeah, I just monetized it, and I was talking to Jason the other night, and I was editing the video, and I seen the little thing. I was like, oh, damn, you know, I get so caught up in my own thing, I don't even say thanks, so thank you.
Yeah, and sometimes, you know, the chat goes by so fast that you won't see the sticker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice too. So I mean, if people want to donate, they can also just click on that little icon.
What? The physics is that? What are you saying? The
what?
The physics of trying to off someone with a box. It's pretty easy if you go for the jugular.
Right. I'm just imagining like / boom, done. Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, there's a couple of spots you can go for the jugular. There's an artery on the right here too, in your bicep. There's one on the inner leg. There's a couple of spots in your side that you can go for.
Kind of cut.
There's some. You'd be surprised. Like the human body is not as. There's some spots on there that can really end your life fast. You know.
Yeah, I guess.
Blade. I don't know what I'm thinking about that.
Yeah, I'm like, man, we're not built for knife fights and things like that.
I'm not built for fights, period. I actually learned that the hard way.
Oh, don't get in fights. I don't think they're fun.
Well, you just got to make sure you win.
Yeah.
You just fight dirty, Jess.
Yeah, I've never, thank God, knock on wood, I've never been in a fight. So I think that'll continue on where I don't think I'm going to get any physical altercations. When
you get in your 40s, you realize you can't get drunk anymore. You can get a buzz, but you can't get drunk. You can't, unless you are a drunk, but you can't get drunk anymore. You can't, even if you're in shape, you shouldn't be in any crazy physical altercations. You got to slow down. I think I'm sad that I can't.
Why?
Because I can't do what I did when I was younger. Like I can't.
It's a realization.
I can't even see the way I used to could see.
It's natural and it's normal for our vision to be crappy too because of these monitors, these blue lights that we're constantly staring at. So also your eye damage is eye damage from the computer too, and aged a little bit maybe.
I had to drive with these today. Just so I could see like clear, so I look like the dorky old man from the 70s with the orange, where you got the orange specks because it's for some reason your eyes like it better than regular sunlight. You're not 40.
I can't read a book anymore. I can't see the letters. Joe, I have a magnifying glass that's like the size of a book page with a light in it so I can read a book if I want to. I can't see Jack. I'm also losing my sight.
So PK said if that date was planned, it's very symbolic of resurrection, initiatic, death, rebirth. Also, the moon was like 3 days away from being full. Man, I don't know. Like, I have no idea.
I don't.
I want, honestly, I want to talk to him. Like, I wish more than anything I could talk to him. You don't what, Jess?
Yeah, it could sound crazy, and it could sound crazy, and you can take this for what it's worth. And I don't like to share these because it's like, Jess, yeah, freaking nuts. But I swear, the other day, as I was thinking about Rohan, I was just walking, right? And I swear to God, I hear him say, Jess, I'm okay. With his Rohan voice.
Really?
I don't know if I'm crazy, but I swear to God, I heard him say, Jess, I'm okay.
Is that your dog?
That is my dog. She's got allergies. And if I turn around real quick.
Let's see the dog. Grab the dog.
Okay. This is Pickle. Oh, she took off.
Probably because you named the dog Pickle.
I got it.
I'd be pissed if
I got her and I
Pickle.
unplugged my headphones. I know. You got your little, now you're doing that. So Pickle, there we go. Now I can hear you. So Pickle has horrible springtime allergies.
Awesome.
Yeah. So she itches a lot right now. And then she'll kind of as well.
Yeah.
So
I'd be mad, Jess. If I was your dog and you named me Pickle, I'd be pissed.
Why? It's a Pickle.
What about like Frank or Henry or something, like
She's
a real name.
Girl. She's a girl.
Okay. Samantha,
So I'll tell you the story. I had a sandwich or something and she was a pup. And I had dropped a pickle spear on the ground and she like inhaled the whole thing. And I was like, oh, you're a pickle.
Oh, is that how you named the dog?
But I'm sorry, Pickle.
Can I play?
Joe doesn't like your name.
Can I play Nightstalker's video, or is it gonna kill the stream if I do that?
That I don't know, because it's like, even if like it's your friend's video, like I think they can still get you.
I think there's a kid on Twitch that watches this. I feel so bad too, because I think he wanted to call in one day when his like girlfriend broke up with him, or he broke up with his girlfriend, and I was like, damn, I didn't even have the phones up,
oh no.
You know? Not that this is a kid-friendly show. I don't know how.
No, I don't know about that sometimes.
But breakups really suck when especially when you're young. Like when you get older, you're like, yeah, ow. And then it comes with the territory. But when you're young, it sucks, man.
Oh, it's devastating when you're young, right? Because like they become your whole world.
That's Trismegistus. This dude says, I knew a stripper named Fickle. See, that's my point, man.
Is that a stripper? I gave her a stripper name?
I think you did.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry.
Call
your
has
new
been
name.
forwarded
Trying
to
to
an
call you
automated
back,
voice
Nightstalker.
messaging system. 9 7
Oh shoot! I better hang that up before y'all get his number. Hold on.
0.
Oh, shoot. I'm calling you.
Here we go. Are you there, brother? Who's this?
Yep. What's going on, you guys?
All right, I'm gonna
What is up?
make sure everybody can hear you.
Can you hear
What's up, bro? Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know why I have the settings on this thing and it just doesn't ring. I can't hear it for some reason. I've been trying to fix it.
You got a million things to do.
How you been, bro?
Fine, I guess. Same old, same old.
Are you okay?
Yeah, same old, same old. Yeah, with the Rohan thing, you mean?
Just period,
Crazy.
but that too.
Oh, period? No, I'm struggling. But yeah, the Rohan thing was a shock. For sure. I just I hope my first thought was I hope he just found some peace, you know. The world is tough, and yeah, it's tough. So I hope the other side is not as tough as this side is, you know.
I hope so too, brother. I hope you're doing good, man. Like I know you say you're struggling, but dude, you can always reach out to us anytime. I'm gonna bug the hell out of you, bro, from here on out. Just make sure you're okay.
Please. Yeah.
I did, like when I found out about this, I stayed up and watched all those videos, even like when we were doing the Fringe Fest and you and I were just chilling and you were putting all that makeup on and crap, you know, in the car.
Yeah. Not drag makeup for anybody who didn't watch the video.
It was like bee stings. It was like bee stings he was putting on his face.
I remember that video. It was so awesome.
How's the stocking going, dude?
Oh, fine. Yeah, fine. Yeah, fine. The same. Exactly the same. Mine's exactly the same. But just like the stresses. I don't want to make this about me. It's like talking about Rohan and stuff. But just same as the last time we talked. I'm having these like panic attacks lately, and just I feel like my
I hate
my gut is all messed up from it. You know, it's just I'm just like I feel like all my muscles are like tensed up all the time, and I can't, like, including like my stomach muscles, and I can't get comfortable. It's a weird. It's crazy. It's a weird thing.
Are you taking Xanax? I used to pop those things like crazy, bro. I cannot stand. Anxiety is the worst. It really is.
I know.
But I got to where I couldn't breathe, man. I can't imagine what it's like if your stomach gets all locked up.
Yeah, it's just it feels like I have to burp, but I can't get it out. I mean, but then it's like,
oh, dude, I know what that, like, you got something stuck right there in your in your throat and chest, and it's just like
in my, yeah, and it goes up, and it's like a bubble in my throat almost, and just it's just like, yeah, it's, and then when I can burp, it's like it's a release or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. It's not. It's just I think it's stress related. Like anxiety, aphasia, or something like that.
Yeah, it's got to be, because I used to do the same thing, especially if I got really high. I would get that, like, this kind of like weird sunken depression feeling, and then I would get I don't know if it's exactly what he's talking about, but I would get like it felt like like a bubble in your throat or your chest, and you're just sitting there going, like trying to get it to just pop so it would relief.
Yeah, exactly.
And it won't.
Yeah. And the more you think about it, the more like you can't get it to release, then like, I don't know, I have to be mindful, because I'll notice my shoulders are tense, and I'll like my back muscles and my like chest muscles are just really, really stiff, like I'm constricted all the time, and I gotta like be mindful to realize, like, all right, stop, relax, kind of take a deep breath. Things that everyone should be doing anyways, you know. But yeah, I feel like for years, like kind of like me like stalking fast or whatever. Part of that is like I get myself in like an anxious state, and I'm like, it fuels my fire a little bit, and now that's the past like year or so, it's kind of turning on me and backfiring me, and it's like I'm frying my system a little bit, and I gotta like recalibrate how I do things a little. But yeah, I mean, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm okay. Yeah. How about you, brother? And Jess, how are you?
I'm okay. I mean, I'm back in the shack, unfortunately.
That's good. No, that's good though.
It's not good for me. People would not like it. Trust me. There's nobody that would trade with me right now. Not any of you guys for sure, but I'm sure somebody would, you know. But like,
we should buy one of those little like a not like a doghouse, like a shed.
Oh,
like another,
yeah, those mini houses.
Yeah, kind of, but like that's even too expensive for me. But it's like something I can go buy at Home Depot right now and just drive it down and park it next to your shed and just or your shack and just toss a bed in it. I'm living in a prison. I just like it's not. I mean, I have like air conditioner and everything, but it's like my mom has more nurses now, and it's just like I can't get like any sleep, and it's part of it. It's like I can't.
Oh.
Like nowhere I am is relaxing. Like I can't.
You're smoking the weed they have nowadays, bro. I don't know how. Like my son smokes weed like it's on fire. You know, he's 20 now. He's about to turn 20. I can't say anything about it, but like anytime people are like, "Here, just try this," and I do try it, it's like the weed I smoked in high school times 10,000. You know. Like I don't know how you guys handle that stuff.
It is. Yeah, it's an acquired thing for sure. For sure. I mean, it's different when you're a reefer addict, when you're a habitual weed smoker. It gets me out of bed, you know. But like I always say, like it makes me like a safer driver or whatever. But I always say if you're not a regular smoker, you should not be like smoking and driving. It's a different experience.
It's crazy.
I remember vividly.
Powerful.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy powerful. But I don't think that's messing me up.
That's probably helping you as fast as your mind's going.
My godsend, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it messes up my wallet more than anything, you know. But
yeah, it's expensive.
It's expensive. Yeah, it sucks. Yeah,
I'm gonna put a link to your video, bro. You should have made more of like Nightstalker videos. Those things are epic, man. You should definitely do that more, even if they're like shorties, you know.
I have a few. Like before TikTok was a thing, and before Vine, kind of like early Snapchat, I did a few like what would become TikToks like in the supermarket aisle. So I'll try to share it to you. Kind of like it's not about me really, but just like little bits, little like 45-second like what TikTok is now, but just before that, kind of inside the store. I used to do that a lot.
I'm gonna find it again and put the link to Nightstockers video and Rohan's Exiled Minds podcast too, just for, you know, well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just want to get what you're like, I guess we didn't even ask you, what was your favorite thing about Rohan? What was your favorite? It's hard to pick one, I know, but.
Yeah. I said it the other day, the thing that will like stick with me the most is like how much he liked us. How much he liked like these communities and us and wanted us to be around us, and like how much he volunteered to do things, and he like that you don't like you were talking about it when I first started tuning in, that people everyone's kind of the star of their own movie and they're in their own tunnel vision, and people kind of like treat each other like set dressing, you know, and just don't have empathy. Like everyone is going through their own personal crisis and everything. And they don't, when you tell them how you feel, they just don't care when you're
you
talking,
feel like
they're
you're
waiting
a burden
to speak. Exactly. Yeah. And it's just not about, you're a player in their movie where, so when you meet somebody that like acknowledges you and wants to be around you and likes you and wants to, and like, here's the things that you do. And like, we'll make jokes and stuff. And then he'll come back a few days later and they'll be like incorporated in his raps and stuff. And it's just like, like that joke we made resonated with him and stuff. And he like my biggest thing is like I regret not being a better friend to him and not being a closer friend to him. And like, cause he would have been like one of my best friends if I wasn't so messed up in my own head and being so distant from everyone. You know, you think you have time to make up these friendships and make up for this lost time and form these bonds that,
bro,
like
you are a favorite of many people. You have to understand that there's not a day that goes by like, and it's the same with Rohan too. Like I would put you guys both on the same level where people want to know where the hell you are, because there's something about your presence that everybody loves. And that is not bullshit. That's not bullshit.
I would agree.
You know,
100%.
Yeah.
So
thank you guys. That means a lot.
We're going to bug the shit out of you from here on out.
Don't disappear.
No.
I'm
have
around.
To bug. I'll
more,
bug the hell out of you. I don't care.
Yeah, you got to bug me. You got to. I'm just like, time is moving. So I just feel like I'm like moving downhill and uphill always at the same time. And just, I'm not like, whether it's people in our communities or my hometown friends or my college friends or anything. I'm not reaching out. Like my dad is waiting on a call like from days and days, and it's just like I'm just struggling with my own stuff, and it comes at the price of like my connections with people. Unfortunately, it sucks. So like my last message I had from Rohan was him like inviting me on his show and everything, and I just didn't respond to it and stuff, and just little things like that were I don't know, like you never know if like my friendship or any of our friendships could have lessened his burden, whatever he was going through.
Exactly. I was thinking the same thing. I saw you said it way better than I did.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even like we're making it about us. Like anybody that cares, you feel like, damn, I bet you I could have at least helped or stopped this or something,
I know. Yeah. I know. And it's so complicated with the suicide aspect too. It just puts a different like flavor in people's mouth, and it's just like hits people in a weird way where I don't know. I just don't look down on people who commit suicide. Like
that's what I was trying to say to Jess. I said, I don't know how to express it. Like I don't think, it's a good thing, or I'm not celebrating it or whatever. But like, who am I to? It's hard to explain. Exactly. Like you don't know what he's going through. You don't.
We don't know.
Yeah.
So it's scary and it's dark, and like we hear all these statistics and numbers and everything. We got to remember that these statistics and numbers for every like each person is going. It's like again, we're all star of our own movies. Some people's movies are really tough, and it doesn't seem to be an ending in sight. And it's just they've messed. Like I was raised Catholic, so suicide in Catholicism, it's not a way out because you'll be punished for it afterwards. Everything.
It's
so
such crazy to say.
It's so crazy, and I don't believe that. I don't believe that now. Like I've listened. I remember like Daniele Bellelli, that like the guy who's always on Duncan Truffle Spot and everything.
Yeah.
He spoke about it one time, and he really put in perspective that like he doesn't believe in that, and I also don't believe in that either. And it's but I'm not saying I don't want to encourage people to commit suicide or anything like that either. But it's just so like I'm not angry at Rohan for doing what he did.
Yeah, I'm not either.
Yeah, it's sad. It's tough.
But
like life is so hard, and it doesn't seem to be getting easier. Like this, you look at your problems and everything. Like here's a suicide hotline, but what are they going to tell you besides like you're not alone, or what are they going to tell you besides like no, things will get better? And it's just like you can be as positive as you want, but sometimes you're just like maybe they won't. Like I'm
no,
not sure
dude,
if I
like
will
you
get
need to like. Here's what you tell somebody: if you don't feel this way, don't say it. But if you do. Like, I love you, Nightstalker. Like, I really genuinely do love you as a family and a brother, bro. Like, this is what you tell people. If you love them, you fucking tell them. Yeah. And then if they need help, you tell them that I'm going to do everything I can to help you, and you fucking do it.
Yeah.
I know.
Like,
again
I'm angry at myself for not being more that way. You know, like, I think.
And like, I don't consider myself. I'm going to make this about myself just for a second. And what I'm about to say is going to sound scary, but don't worry about me. Like, but just like, if like I'm not depressed, as I'm kind of just like fried a little bit. And sometimes you can get to a mode where it's like I do know people care about me, but at what point am I now a burden? At what point am I more valuable? Like I have all these like ideas that I can't manifest. We talked about a million times. Like I feel like I have things inside me that I can't get out. So there's a certain point where I'm like, maybe they will never get out, and maybe like I'm more valuable to the people around me as a memory than I would be as an actual person. I'm more valuable as a face on a T-shirt. Be like, oh, remember, like,
please don't believe that. That is not true to me at all.
Like, and it's just like, how do you get that out of your head? And if it's like a dark moment, like anything is like, and anything is you know, I'm not saying I'm saying like for person in general that like.
No, you're speaking as that feeling. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I said that like in my past, like relationships I was in. because I started going through problems, and they'd be like, well, you're always going through problems, and it's like, well, I don't want to be a burden. Well, you're not a burden, but you're telling me I am a burden. You know what I mean? So then you just don't trust anybody anymore because you feel like you're a freaking burden. And the last thing you want to do is shed all of your dignity and lay on the floor and cry and beg people to help you. So what the hell do you do? And I think like Brian made a good point. He says it's about showing up, giving someone their due dignity. You just never know.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much. Yeah. It's more than just love and respect. It's like, hey, how are you? We miss you. Like, I'm saying that to you genuinely, dude. How are you doing? I love you. We miss you. It's a real thing. And dude, let me tell you something right now, man. If I know money doesn't solve everything, but if I hit a big chunk of money, I know a few people I would call and be like, listen, we're going to figure something out, and like,
no, same. I was you're talking about buying, you're talking about buying the Colt.
Yeah, or something, dude. We're going to find a place where we can all create, hook up the internet, build a studio, and just like go to town, dude. And we're all going to be in the same place,
Yeah, exactly.
We just have to find the right property, right?
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. I was driving to work today, and there was a commercial for the Powerball, like over $1 billion. Whatever, and I was like, oh, my first thought was, oh yeah, I would just buy a town for all of us to live in. And like, where would that town be?
Yeah.
A few hours ago. It's funny that she said that. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
And that's why I hold on to the Fringe so much too, man. It's not about anything other than the sentimental stuff. Like the stuff went down today, and I'm just reaching out for everybody, like help. And I think a lot of it is holding on to you guys. Like that's all it is for me. It's nothing professional, and it never has been for me. Like never.
Okay. You're. I think personally, I think what you do is brave. Like that. Like I'm so afraid of like messing. Like I think my life sucks, but I'm also afraid of like messing it up. I'm afraid of making it worse. Like I don't take the risk. I'm like. Remember I quit my job a few years ago for like a day. And
I was so proud. I do remember. That's like holy shit, he did it. Yeah, like he did it.
Yeah. For like a weekend. Yeah, and then I went right back, and it's just I'm afraid of like immediately my mom was like, no, you can't. Like, how are you gonna have insurance? How are you gonna have this? How are you gonna have this? And it's just the idea of not having a check come on Thursday or whatever scares me into living in this monotony. So I think that creating a creative outlet that can be your job, and then also can be other people's jobs. I think and to be brave enough to do it in ups and downs, like on thin times and in better times. Like that's what art's all about. I think if you keep going, it'll pay off. Just be like a good person and keep it going, pay it forward, and I think you will be rewarded for that. I know this to be true. It's just the battle is like getting to actually do it myself. But I believe that like the universe works like that. Like, and it might seem darkest before the dawn. Yeah, it's just I stopped saying it because it sounds so corny. But it's like
I love it. I love it.
Perfect.
With like artistic things, like what are you doing? Like creating a radio station and stuff, giving people platforms, giving people like I can't tell as somebody who has no outlets. I can't tell you how important like a place to call is for people like me and that kind of stuff. Let alone just listening and all that kind of stuff.
That's all I ever wanted the Fringe to be. And like we're gonna have a meeting this week. We're gonna like change this thing for real. And like I always just wanted it to be a place for like not just a place where we could all be together, but a place for people that deserve to be heard. Like man, like Ryan Gable, I don't know, Ryan was doing a show on the weekends, dude, at 2, and I heard that dude, right? I was like, this is like stupid. This guy should be doing primetime, and it's the same thing with you, dude. Like all of your knowledge that you've got all this stuff about, man. And I just watched you cut up a video, and that was years ago. So I know you got all kinds of creative abilities in you that are just they can't come out. That's what's probably driving you the craziest, honestly.
Yeah, and the same applies to you too. You took the leap too, in the same way. That's something that I can't do, and I commend you guys for that. And I think like we just keep putting it in, and if you can't do it, if you can't survive it, like then do what you got to do. But obviously, if you are brave enough to keep the journey going. I think it will pay off and stuff.
Yeah,
but yeah, I
Hope so. Thank you.
Well, everybody just needs to make his life more stressful and just bug the ever living hell out of him now for even more, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
make it more stressful. Because, I mean, we're not like, we don't want to stress you out more, man, but you're always missed, just like as much as Rohan.
I mean, you can ask Rivers this. I mentioned this the other day, but I'm like, every Sunday when I'm driving to work, I'm like, I'm just gonna message Joe and be like, "Hey, what are you doing for Monday's show? Want me to come on, just shoot the shit or whatever?"
Hell yeah.
And then, but when I get out of work on Sunday, I'm just like so tired, and then I end up like, there's more nurses in the house now, so I can't get any sleep until the afternoon, and then like I'm sleeping through the night, you know. But I'm thinking about you literally every week. Like, can this be the week? Am I gonna like? It's like, I don't want to say it too early because then it'll become a stressful thing, and I'll be like, you know what I mean? But I'm always hopeful that this week will be the week that I'll have the energy to do it. I do miss you guys a lot.
Sure. We miss you too, bro.
Are you wrapping it up? I don't want to keep you guys going too long, but
no, we're good. We're good.
Okay.
Like this is the beauty of running your own radio station, right, Jess? So you can do what you want. We play what we want. We say what we want.
100%.
It's like Nightstockers, like, hell yeah, like we do. It's a struggle to keep it alive sometimes, but like there's a lot of people struggling with a lot of things right now, and I used to say that and think, man, is that just me? Am I like projecting? But no, dude, like a lot of people are going through all kinds of shit right now.
100%.
Everything is everything is really hard right now. Like just things as simple as the inflation stuff, and it's like I worked at the store and seeing the prices on things and seeing like the shape of the bottles change and the less ounces, but my price is still going up, and it's just corporations are just running an absolute muck. I mean, and it like that's like Ryan leaving and everything, like that's what we're all struggling with, trying to produce art and then survive in a world where we need to like make money and everything too. So it's just like he idolizes somebody for years, and they have one of maybe the second biggest audience in the field. So he went over. I don't blame him.
I don't blame him either.
So like I fantasize about just creating something so cool that just like all of us want to be here. Like and like success. Like my dream is just to like not have like 4 different freaking networks that I gotta like try to split time with.
That's the goal. I said the same thing to you, didn't I, Jess? The other day, I said it to all of you. I said we got to create something so cool that other people are going to be like, dude, I just have to be over there with them. It's too cool, you know.
That's all I want. Then everyone has their idea that I'm going to make my own like aftermath or whatever, and it's just
Well, yeah, but you can always revolutionize something too, man. There's always somebody out there.
Yeah.
There's always somebody out there that's like, yeah, I've tried that, done that. And they try to tell you about human nature and the way things are going to be. And they build their little boxes until somebody changes it. And they always do change it, you know. Somebody built something cool.
I think about this so often. I feel like I've missed so many. I've been going back a lot of nostalgia. I've been watching a lot of like early aught stuff, like old SNLs and just things that like were formative in like my 11-year-old age or whatever. And it's like I feel like I missed a bunch. Like I was there at the beginning of YouTube. I was watching videos when it was like 20 videos on YouTube. I was like I'm 13 or 14 at this point, but I'm like messaging people who were like the only people on YouTube before. This is before Mr. Beast or before like what's his name?
Early
Bill, not Bill Burr, but the kid, the guy who sings songs and had that
Billy Madison.
Jeffrey Bezos. That you know talking about, Jess? The guy he had that pandemic special where he's in his house and he's saying
I can't think of who you're talking about.
Begins with a B. He's like a comedian that just sings songs.
Borat?
No. Bo Burnham? Bo Burnham?
Bo, I think Bo, is it Burnham or Burnham?
Something like that. Is that the kid who sings? Whatever. Just like whatever that wave of like Smosh and like that wave of YouTube was, like all the like Logan Paul and that annoying. That's like second tier YouTube.
Yes.
That's second generation. Exactly.
G2. Yeah, G2.
And Yeah, and they just like, I was annoyed by them. I remember when they started coming around, and like I was like, I wanted to make movies for a living. I'm making stuff with my best friend who went on to make movies and stuff, and I feel like I missed that wave. I could have been making money on YouTube, and then the podcast wave. I missed it. Like, so I'm like thinking about what's the next thing. I'm racking my mind like what's the next pod, like what's the 2020 version of the podcast, or like what's the next YouTube, what's the thing that we don't know exists. Like in 2002, if you were to say I want to be an influencer, that job does not exist.
That's so
I want to be a
stupid,
YouTube star. That job does not exist. But just like a person who gets paid to make YouTube videos, I mean, like a person who gets paid to make content. So whatever that is, whatever the now everyone has a podcast. Like my mom has never listened to a podcast, but she wants to make one. So that's
kind of cool to me, actually. But
what's the next thing going to be that we can pioneer? You know, or the next like format change, or the next like people.
I think
it's
you
going to be
should come
video.
to this meeting, Night Stalker.
Yeah, I don't have the answers. I'm just trying to. I mean, I definitely think about it.
Come to the meeting.
You should just come to the meeting.
Yeah. Give me a link. Yeah,
just come to the meeting.
Just come to the meeting. Enjoy it. Join us.
Yeah, because that's how like revolutionary stuff happens, because everything does plateau, right? Eventually, everybody's doing what everybody else is doing, and they're trying to make it better and tighter, and until someone's like, "Well, I'm just going to do something way different," you know, and it's going to be cool. But you don't want to do something so different that you don't get it, you know, any notice for it.
Something cool.
Yeah.
Something like who is the revolutionary that like, right? I don't know. Who's the modern Jack Kirby, or who's the modern like these people who aren't going to be who in like 50 years who can be like, oh, they were ahead of their time, and we never. I mean, it's us. That's what I think. But it's just what's the move? What's the
well. For the podcasting thing, I can tell you generally, like you could grow your show if you just care about growing shows. All you have to do is find guests that have big followings and ask them really deep questions that nobody else is asking them. Boom, make sure you get seen. It'll grow. It ain't hard, right? But like, are you going to be happy doing that? Is that even creative to you? Is it fun?
If I can get paid to be creative, I don't like as much I'm making right now. I'm not saying like I just to not die and be able to make content. That's all I really want. Like,
so you wouldn't mind the shack, I mean, then, would you? As long as you were, you know,
if it's comfortable, yeah. But Joe Rogan is popular because he was first. Because he was a voice that people recognize, and he was messing around with this like new thing. And then then he just like he's just the Band-Aids of podcasts. He just became like, when people are introduced to podcasts, he's like part of it for the first like 7 years, or Kevin Smith or Adam Carolla or Mark Maron. Like these like first wave. Same with the YouTube. Like Mr. Beast is now a billionaire and going to be president probably because he was just first. He made shit for
Mr. Beast
3 years, and just nobody watched it. He had 100 views a video, and then all of a sudden he said one day he did nothing different, and he just had 20,000 views of a video. He said nothing changed. I just made a video a day. I had like single digits sometimes, and then one day nothing. I did nothing different, and one day I had 10K, and the next day I had 10K, and the next day.
But you know, he said that him and 4 of his friends. Like I watched a video on him. He said him and 4 of his friends got together for a year. They all quit their jobs. They suffered, whatever. And they got together for a year and just analyzed YouTube for a year until they came up with a formula, right? Like we can't do that. Like but they did. They thought like you can, this is what I'm saying, man. Like you
that's
can.
What I'm doing right now. I feel like that's what I'm in right now. I'm in the idea. That's all I have is just ideas to pick to, but it's just, I don't have the, like people are like, oh, just make it on your phone, do something on your phone. And it's just like, I'm not going to make something. Like Oprah has a podcast. Obama has a podcast.
Everybody.
Every celebrity that's ever been on TV. If you're an extra on the X-Files on one episode, you had 2 lines, you're going to have an X-Files podcast. If you're in drama club for 4 years in high school, you will have a podcast. If you're an improv person in California, you're going to have, if you're a stand-up, you have to have a podcast if you're in stand-up. If you're in entertainment at all. So we're competing with not just like interesting people, but professional talkers, people with studios off the jump, and it's just like
and teams
and
of
it's just
people.
Like, and it's teams and so it's just like I we can try to like figure out ways to compete in that thing, and I think the ways to do that, like not be the number one. That might be impossible at this point. It's like trying to beat cable, like, but it is the next thing, like Saturday Night Live or like any of these, all these cool things that are now institutions have that origin story where it's like people didn't get it at first, or like people thought we were crazy, and it's just like, I'm not sure what that thing is now. Like a few years ago, it would have been streaming. It would have been like Twitch and stuff, and it's like.
Well, I thought doing like Phil Hendry stuff was crazy, where you pretend like you're callers and make up characters on the show. I did that when I was a kid.
I think part of it.
And I thought, man, no one's ever going to do that, but it's so fun to me. And then you hear someone like Phil Hendry do it, right? And it's like,
that's the move. I think.
Yeah.
That's what I think. It's to take. It's about synthesis. George Lucas made Star Wars by synthesizing so much cool stuff together. He liked hot rods. He liked dogfighting, war movies.
He liked dogfighting?
Kurosawa. Like, he didn't dogfight, but I mean, no, like dogfight, like
planes. I was fixing to say that's
planes dogfight. Yeah. So it's like American. It's like American graffiti car culture mixed with World War I plane scenes, mixed with space, mixed with Buddhism, mixed with Kurosawa, mixed with westerns, East and West. All these things, combine them together to make something cool, and that's kind of like the movie Aliens, the same way. I want to mix H.R. Giger with Lovecraft.
What if you had a media company, just a media company?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Everything you're talking about is media. So you just had a media company, and you had some really creative people, and you had resources. That's it. That's all you need.
Well, yeah. I'm talking for sure. I'm saying like, what do we do with that media company?
Whatever the hell we want.
Like, it's like, I think we should take the things. I've been thinking about this for years. Take the things that worked with everything we've liked and is cool, and synthesize it and put it into the fringe. Take the mainstream things that like worked in the 80s and 90s, like things throughout Hollywood and stuff, and now.
The 80s.
And like Splash.
And the 90s.
Splash.
Wait, how old are you, Nightstalker?
34.
34. Cool. So you're in there. You're in there for sure. Yeah.
I mean, like, take Phil Hendry type stuff, but do it paranormal. Make it fringify it. Fringify, like fringe Saturday Night Live on the radio. Like I'm saying, like, take things that we like from like entertainment and make them fringe. Like everyone is that's what Jimmy Church and all these people are doing. They're just like he's just making a fringe Larry King. They're all just think, oh, video's the next thing. Let me put my face on the thing. And like, nobody wants to see your friggin' face. Nobody cares about your face. That's not the thing.
That's why I don't like doing video, really. But I like playing with the backgrounds and stuff and playing music.
It's good. It's fine to have, but that's not the future. That's not the next.
No.
It's not like. I don't listen to. I don't watch any content. I've listened to hundreds of hours of Rogan, but I don't watch Rogan. I mean, I don't sit there and watch an interview.
Watch him, right?
Like, so that's like what everyone's thinking. It's just they're thinking so simple where it's just like interviews, like as podcasts. But I'm just like, we can take anything that's been done for the last 100 years of Hollywood and put it in the fringe. I mean, and Hollywood sounds bad in a conspiracy angle. That's not what I mean. But just like entertainment,
yeah.
Variety shows.
I got some ideas, dude. You got to come to the meeting, bro.
Variety shows, doing bits, making bits, like taking the cool stuff and just making it fringe. I mean, like synthesizing the mainstream with the fringe and creating something new that deep conspiracy people will like, deep paranormal people will like. And also my friends from home can listen to, and like Spotify will want to buy, and like my grandmother can like be impressed by, like, but she can get it. I mean, like something packageable, and you know what I mean, to connect. Like I'm spitballing, and I'm at work.
It sounds like a meeting we already had and that we're about to have again. I think you should show up to it.
I think you should go to the meeting, Nightstalker.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm not just giving like specific examples because I think good, and I don't want to like give them out in the air. But like,
No,
well,
you gotta,
there's a problem.
save it.
The only problem is everybody's trying to outdo. Like once you start comparing yourself to other people, or trying to outdo somebody, or I'm in this competition with whatever, like that stuff to me is like it just stifles creativity. Period.
Yeah, but like finding a niche.
Yeah.
But
finding a niche is
like
different.
Competing,
Yeah.
finding a lane amongst the traffic. You know,
Yeah.
like I was listening to, like, because I'm a professional listener. Like I don't make content. I consume a ton of it, but only half of it is like fringe related stuff. The other half is mainstream stuff. It's like comedy podcasts or food podcasts or podcasts.
What's your favorite comedy podcast? So I can listen to it.
I like the Doughboys. It's a food comedy podcast. It's really good. Really funny. It's very big. But like, I forget what I was gonna say.
Well, I remember seeing that on your video. Dude, what is that? That box cutter you got, man? Like, if I ever need you to take someone out and I got the money, like you're fast with that thing. I don't see how you don't cut your hand off doing it that fast, bro. Like,
yeah.
I've never seen anybody
That's my best.
cut boxes that fast in my life while he's talking about like esoteric stuff. I mean, you're literally already have a video out of kind of what you're talking about. People just need to see it, and you should make more, man. I think it's that good. I really do.
Yeah. I made that when it's still like, that's the only thing I did. I won, like my college laptop was broken or whatever. So then I won a laptop at a raffle at my supermarket, and that's what I used to make that video. And then, but by the time that I was done making the video, the laptop was junk because it was like a cheap one. So that was 6 years ago at this point, like 5 years ago, like 2018 probably.
Yeah.
And that was the last thing that was a trailer for a show that I wanted to make, and that was 2018. That's what I'm struggling with, kind of, you know. But I mean, just to the
skit that you wrote for the Fringe Fest was great.
Fantastic.
Most people don't know Nightstalker wrote that whole skit, and we just acted it out. It
was great.
I did the technical stuff. I think Amanda did. She just read what was on the paper, and like when he was running from those bees, I swear that was so real to me. Even though I knew it wasn't real, it was so real.
It's
like
so good.
I was like crying, man. That was the funniest part to me.
But that's all. But it's like, thank you. But that's also like. The biggest thing was the editing, and like you did all you put all the hours in, and I kept trying to tell you that, like, are you sure you're gonna edit it? Like, are you sure you want to edit it by yourself? It kind of sucks. Like, we should just film this in order because it's gonna be a fucking pain in the ass for you to do. It really sucks. But that's like, it's like that was so simple, and it resonates because it feels different than just people talking, you know. And it's like a simple bit that we made in 30 seconds, and then we it took no time at all. Something, there's so many like interesting things that all it takes is just to be fringified, you know, just to synthesize them to get to find I was listening to Bill Simmons talk to the creator of Bleacher Report, and he was like talking about the origin, and he called it like second wave internet, where it's like and at the time, this was like early aughts. At the time, he was in college, he was consuming sports media. Unless you're from New York or Dallas or LA, you have to, or you like in the NHL, you have to deal with a lot of wasted time, wasted space. So he created this niche of like, that's when like lists, top 10 lists, or like hot take culture, that type of thing formed. Is like creating simple, curated content, like with like ESPN as the comparison. So it's like I'm not doing a good job explaining it, but it's like,
no, you just have a million ideas, dude, that all make sense, that you can't come out fast enough. It all makes sense, bro. It really does. I would love, matter of fact, if you could turn YouTube into Nightstalker's world, or just whatever, like a place that you could go to and watch Nightstalker content, it would be cool. Like, I feel bad as a content creator that we're not making this kind of stuff, because really that's all. You're right, it's all it is right now. Everybody's doing a podcast, everybody's doing videos, or they're streaming video games, or they're niche talking a subject, and it's like the nostalgia of things is dying a little bit. Not for everybody, but the funny or like there should be nostalgia, there should be humor, there should be entertainment, and then there should be like all of it. Like it's all a ride the whole time, you know?
Yeah, like just a variety show thing. That was the pitch when me and Amanda were going to do the morning show originally. It was like, that's why I gave like the recommendation of the Ralph Report show, like, because he kind of did like an old school.
I offered to produce it, man. I totally offered to produce it. The offer's still on the table, you know? Yeah.
No. I don't have the technology to do anything.
I do.
But I mean, but just like taking like it's like, it's just kind of like, it just feels like first wave Hollywood, where it's like everything's kind of like just very simple right now, and it's just very like everyone. We don't know what somebody's going to do. What I'm talking about very soon.
Well, they're going to do everything you just talked about.
I'm going to be like, that's what I meant, and it's going to be it'll become commonplace. Like this, like just the way the 40s TV looks different than 70s TV.
Well, all right, sorry, because I can feel the stress now. Let me ask you this. Do you believe that there's a cap to creativity? Do you believe that there's a cap or a place to where it gets, well, if I don't do it now, it's going to get unfair, and then I'm going to have to come up with something different?
There's a clock for sure. I mean, like the ideas are in the ether, and some people are better at pulling them out than others. So it's like, if you don't make it, somebody else will, for sure. That's for sure. For sure. But I think also the restrictions, the cap creates creativity. I mean, like when I am stifled, I do come up with my best ideas.
Dude, like you got amazing ideas, but there's also always a reason why I can't do it, or we can't do it, or if we don't do it now, it's not going to be done anyways, that kind of thing. And the thing I believe, and I've experienced the both ups and downs of this with limited creativity, is inertia. Like you just got to get started, you know? Yep.
Well, that's the thing. Like, so, I mean, part of this is just rationalizing and making an excuse for myself why I haven't done it. But the other part is like, if I was making a show, if I became a creator rather than a consumer, which eventually I will do eventually at some point, and I consume through the lens of a creator, for sure. But if I was spending the time doing a show every night like you guys do, then I would not be able to come up with these ideas in the same way. Like that's why people have producing teams, and that's why Jay Leno has a whole team of writers around him. Because if you're making the show every day, you can't come up with the jokes every day. I mean, you like.
Oh yeah, this show was so much better when Pacho was here. It really was.
It takes a team, kind of. I mean, but it's also like, I wouldn't be able to consume as much content, so I wouldn't be able to have ideas, and it like.
I got an idea to solve that for everybody, but I'm not going to say it on the air because I'm going to keep it sacred. But I have an idea to solve that for every person involved with the Fringe, and it's pretty simple.
Ooh.
You can't put it all on Nightstalker or one person, but I have an idea. A really good idea, and where credit gets its due, where people get what they're due, but they also become a part of all of it too. You know, it's not that hard to come up with. It's just, when does the person, I guess you could say the ego take over versus the community? That's the only struggle. And I think in this day and age with content creation, it's going to come down to communities, because individuality is just going to be like, well, what platform like he's saying, what platform do we use next? Virtual reality until we all compete against each other. And then what's next and what's next? And it's going to be the people that figure out how to actually come together that's going to trump all of that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's my nightmare. Just every person I know is just asking me for Patreon. I mean, my check goes to just 45.
That's your nightmare.
I asked for Patreon. Like, we all need support, right?
It's a cup of coffee, but if everyone
buy me a cup of coffee.
It's 100 cups of coffee. That's why people are like, you're too. What do they say? You're too nice. You don't want to ask for support. It's like, it ain't that I don't want to ask for support. I desperately need it. It's just, I also know that you have 130 other subscriptions on your plate. You know, or
Right.
whatever, and your own bills to pay. And considering the financial sphere of things, most of us aren't in that bracket where we can buy everybody a cup of coffee. I get it, you know.
Right.
I want it just to be worth it, like to have value. I don't know, just like I also think everybody. I don't think everybody should have a podcast. I don't think everyone has things to say. I don't think everyone is interesting. Half the problem is everyone just is getting on a mic before they have something, something to say, and I just have so many things to say, and I can't get on the mic, and it just drives me absolutely up the friggin' wall.
This is what we need, a 24/7. Like, what we need is a live 24/7 feed of Nightstalker. Even if you're working, we need a microphone somewhere where you can just hit a button, and if something's on your mind, you could just say it and whatever. Like, dude, I would listen to that shit all day, right? And it would take about 2 months, and finally there'd be some quiet, and be like, what happened? Well, he finally got it all out, at least for a moment, you know.
Thank you. But I do just like giving ideas too. You know, like I do just like it doesn't need to be about me. Like it'd
still be fun.
It'd be fun.
I don't think I could do it as well. Like, I could do a show for about an hour, maybe 2, and then it gets boring, or I'm putting people to sleep just because of the tone of my voice alone, right? But you, like, I could just turn it on sometimes, but what the hell is he thinking right now? You know, what's he doing?
Yeah.
Like, did you
mind
watch?
Of Nightstalker.
What does your mind think about, like, Split? The whole. Did you watch that? Like, Unbreakable, Split, and then Glass. Did you see those?
I've never seen those. I've never seen those. I'm aware of them.
You need to watch those and then tell us what you think about those for sure.
Which aspect? I mean, the multiple personality thing.
Yeah. So Unbreakable, like, it's about. It's the trilogy is about 3 comic book heroes, but Unbreakable is the first one. It starts with Bruce Willis, and he becomes the overseer. And then second one is Split with the multiple personality, crazy weirdo dude. And then the third one's Glass. But they're all in some form or another in all the movies. And it's not like any of the other DC or Marvel stuff. They kind of make it a bit more, is realistic the word?
Grounded, I guess, is another word.
A little bit more grounded, yeah.
It was the first cinematic universe before Marvel did it. The M. Night Shyamalan, before Kevin Smith did it too with his U.S. universe.
God, I love the Kevin Smith. I used to listen to Kevin Smith podcasts all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And me too. And I'm subscribed to him, and I'm a fan and everything, but I don't listen to him in the same regularity, because if you listen to him, like he's commoditized himself to a crazy degree. And I've heard all the stories a million times already before, and he's just like, he's trying to keep up a Hollywood director lifestyle by just milking his fans to a crazy. He just did a cruise, and I don't know. He just like.
I saw that he did a cruise.
All his friggin' stories. It's the same bits over and over and over and over and over again. Because he's not like.
Who are we talking about?
He's only Kevin Smith.
Oh yeah. He keeps talking about the same stuff.
He's not taking anything in. He's just talking over and over. So if you listen to him once a month, yeah, he's great. But listen to him all his shows.
Same
then
shit.
He's not as great. But 10 years ago he was, because he was telling it was better because he was telling stories like from his whole life, and now he's ran out of stories. Unfortunately, it kind of sucks.
Oh yeah, I probably do that to people. I tell the same 6 stories over and over again. It sucks.
But he's just like done the thing. He's just made a YouTube for Kevin Smith, basically. He's put a camera on himself his whole life. He streams everything. If he watches something, he's streaming it. If he plays something, he's streaming it. Every conversation he has is being streamed, which is one angle to take. But
someone told me I should do that. I'm like, I don't want to do that, man. Like, Brady told me that. A friend of mine, he's like, well, if you're getting bored, you could just stream, like, even if you're TikToking and just comment on everything. It's like, then I don't have a life. Like, everybody's involved with my life. Like, I don't have
all the time.
And then you don't even, I don't know, man. That would be kind of weird, right? Like, not for like me, it'd be weird. For Nightstalker, I think it'd be cool just because of your character and who you are, you know? Like,
no.
dude, you gotta understand what I'm saying is the truth, bro. Like, I know from your perspective, you probably don't see that, but like, you got just as many good ideas as Kevin Smith does. Faster, more, faster.
I appreciate that. But
it's
like,
the truth.
I just gotta stress that, like, I just, like, sometimes
He said I just got stressed.
No. Like, I have to stress that sometimes we just listen to other people like in this field and stuff, and like there's people who are much better than me, obviously, but it's like who are like very entertaining, who just aren't talking about fringe stuff. That's like there's just like
I see what you're saying.
so many huge worlds and so many like entertaining.
Like, who would be a good guy that you would love to, like, you would really think would be so freaking cool to listen to him talking about fringe stuff? Like, that's all he talked about for a while. I'm gonna go with Bill Burr. I would love to hear him talk about it.
That'd be cool. He does. I mean, I made a video on Facebook. I'm on the Nightstocker page. Like, when I was still doing that, like, years ago. Just like all his times talking about conspiracy stuff, basically on different interview shows and everything. Bill Burr.
Nice.
But, like somebody, I don't know. I don't know.
There's a few of them probably.
Yeah, I don't know. Comic writer probably, like Scott Snyder writes DC books. Like tangential ties to the CIA. I want to see like where he gets his ideas from and everything, kind of. Basically, but yeah, I don't know.
Snyder,
that's not. Yeah, Scott Snyder, not Zack Snyder, the writer, not the.
Oh, gotcha.
Not the director.
Yeah, Scott Snyder. Yeah, the guy who he wrote Court of Owls for Batman, or he wrote.
Okay.
Like.
Man, I feel so bad right now. I feel like Nightstockers just missing so much entertainment. When you're stocking shelves, man, and that's all you do, you stock shelves, you work, you go home, you think about everything, you listen to everything, you probably do come up with a million freaking ideas. Like, if you had to add up the hours of how much you've listened to podcasts and took in content, it's probably insane. It's probably insane. Just the average person is insane, right? But like for someone that has the mind that you do, that consumes it so fast, and dude, everybody loves your ideas. People want to go with them. Trust me. Dude, like, but you do kind of. You should have took. Like, the next time someone offers you a computer, you take it, bro. You just say yes. Just take it. You know?
Yeah.
I would. I'm just saying right now, like, I'm a content creator, and if you're a content creator and you don't have a lot of resources, you have to ask for help. You have to. People have to help you, and then that's just how you start. Unless somebody comes out of the woodworks and is like, here's a bunch of money, right? Which hardly ever happens, ever. Or if they do, they have their own agenda or something that they want, you know. Most of the time, that doesn't happen, you know.
Yeah. I just don't like to take stuff because, like, my priorities are all messed up because I spend too much money on weed. And if I just like had more self-control, then I could buy a laptop. It wouldn't take me so long to buy it. I should be able to. I'm an assistant manager. I should have a supermarket. I mean, it's not a good job. It's enough that I should be able to buy a laptop. You know, eventually after years and years. You know, but if I just smoke too much weed, you know what I mean? Like, this is my. It's so. I mean, it's my own battle. I like to give ideas. Maybe that's part of the thing. Maybe I'm not here to be a star. Maybe I'm here to like give people who give you guys like ideas. Like, I mean, like I send Clyde like long emails, and sometimes he just turns them into a show. And I know for sure I'm never gonna get credit for that. And that's part of it. I told him up front, like, you don't have to give me credit for this. Here's a good idea.
But that's not cool, man. Someone should give you credit for it. Like, this is like, to me, you're taking yourself way too seriously if you don't give someone credit for the idea. It's like, I've got to show that it's my thing, or I'm going to lose my image. No, you don't. You don't. Just say, man, I got this email from Nightstalker. I was thinking about this. You know, like, that's not going to take away your image of how intelligent or what is charismatic you are, right? Like, that's so stupid to me.
Yeah, I mean, because we're in fields where ideas are the big commodity. You know what I mean? So if people think that your ideas aren't coming from yourself, then it makes it's honest.
Makes you less interesting.
Makes you less a little bit, yeah. But myself, I agree. I mean, if I'm like, to me, it seems if you're representing people, it makes you seem more learned. It makes you seem like you're consuming more. You know, it doesn't take away from that. But I get, but it's like same way in the rap game. People have ghostwriters. Yeah. Like Kanye is not writing his own bars.
100%. Right.
I don't know much about the rap game. I just know I like listening to it. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's not going to tell you
for sure.
So ghostwriters, yeah. You think some of the first beats he made, he got help with, or he actually made those?
No. You got to pay your dues, but then he gives beats to somebody he doesn't get credit for it. I mean, and he gives rhymes to somebody who doesn't get credit for it, and then he becomes Kanye, and then somebody is giving him. So then he goes and he gets Metro Boomin and Hit Boy and Ty Dolla $ign and all these people, and then he makes, and it's freaking like that's DJ Khaled's not making anything, but he's getting stuff from people and repackaging it and then sending it out, or like. You know what I mean? So that's part of it. So it's like kind of, but I don't know. But I do like giving ideas. Like if I had $1 billion, I would just become like the caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland. Just like smoke all the time and just like give people ideas. And that's all I want is just to give. Like I like giving people ideas, but you don't get paid to give people ideas. You know what I mean? So it's but
you could
So it's like.
You definitely could, bro. You could be like a director, producer kind of. You could be a Kevin Smith of whatever, bro. Like you could totally get paid for ideas. Yeah, and your ideas would stick, man. Like I think a lot. Honestly, I know it's going to sound mystical and shit, and people don't like it, but I really think the trigger to this is like our beliefs about ourselves that really either make us or break us. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, for sure.
Because I can't tell you how many times I've seen like massive talent or something. I'm just like, wow, this is amazing. And this person does not believe it. Like they just don't, or they don't see it. Or it's kind of like when people are skinny and they look at themselves and they're like, I'm so fat. And you're like, what are you talking about, man? You know? And they really think they're fat. Like they see a fat person in the mirror. And there's nothing you can do about it. It's so frustrating, man. It's so frustrating because I would love to live in a world of nothing but like Nightstalker content, like a freaking Nightstalker channel, Sirius XM Nightstalker or a YouTube channel or whatever. I'm sure a lot of people would.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you. But like, yeah, I appreciate that.
Dude, even when I don't want to get too personal, but there were times when I'd be like, hey, what about my show? And da-da-da, what do you think about that? And like, people are like, well, you probably should get Nightstalker back on. Like, how many times have you heard this, Jess? Like, where's Nightstalker at?
Oh, constantly. People come in my chat sometimes and they'll be like, where's Nightstalker?
Especially when you're asking about ideas for stuff, or I'm kind of running out of blank or something. People are like, well, what happened to Nightstalker?
Where's Nightstalker?
I mean, I got to tell you, I'm as a radio personality, like I'm way better now than I was when I was on your show all the time. I mean,
really?
Like you're gonna be thrilled at. Oh yeah,
I can't wait to hear this.
I'm on the phone. I mean, I'm on the phone like a phone line now, so I probably sound bad. But like, if we were all on Zoom, yeah, I think I speak better than I did.
Well, let's do it, bro. I'm ready. Whenever you got to just let me know when you're available. You know, when you're good to go. You know.
Yeah.
Like when you got a free day or whatever. I don't know your schedule.
Maybe tomorrow. Or would you have a guest or anything?
Tomorrow, I don't think so. I don't think so. I'll hit you up.
It has to be. I mean, because if I know I have something to do in the afternoon or at night, then I can't sleep during the day. You know what I mean? I shut myself out about it. You know, so it has to be a play it by ear.
You overthink.
It has to be a play it by ear situation. Because like in my head, I'm like, just like you should just make like we should just do like a weird Hollywood type thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you create the platform and I just come on and we just like, mix it up about whatever. But like, I don't want to commit to any ideas because I say that now at 12:30 and I'm at the beginning of my shift and I'm fired up. But in 8 hours
full of energy.
Now, I'm gonna be tired as hell.
Well, that's
respectable. I'm gonna be even more tired. You know, so it's
that's
like,
respectable.
I'm not gonna want to do it.
It's better than like saying, "Yeah, I'll definitely do it," and then someone hits you up and they're like, "Well, you know, like I'm just a little tired." and someone was looking forward to talking to you all day. I'd rather someone go, I don't know how I'm going to feel that day. Hit me up then. Let me know.
Well, I'll say this too. If you ever want to, ever want to do one of those like last minute, you let me know. I love talking movie stuff.
Definitely.
We love you, brother. And
we do.
We got Godzilla X Kong this week, so maybe you can talk about that eventually.
I know. I want to watch it so bad.
The Titans verse stuff. So. But yeah, I was sorry again for being so distant. Seriously, it's not.
It's all right, man.
It's not personal. It's just I just like go with the flow. And,
wait till someone messages you on like. Wait till you start doing a show and then someone messages you on Facebook or something and you just look at it, but you don't know what to say. And they go, oh, thanks. Nice. And it's like,
oh, no, I know. Yeah, right.
What are you talking about, man? Like you just offended them because you didn't respond or something. Like that stuff gets.
Then you don't open the message so they don't know that you saw it.
Yeah, I can't deal with it sometimes.
Exactly. Oh, no, I have so many. From people that messages and people I care about. Again, like I have messages from Ron that I like, and it sucks. So to all the people who are waiting on Facebook, like I need to update my messenger and it won't let me because I have to like my account's not like you have to have a working account to like update anything. That kind of stuff. So if you need me, message me on Discord. That's where I'll receive them.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah. I won't be a stranger, and I love you guys. And
don't.
I love you. It shouldn't take the death of a friend to bring us together. But it's nothing you guys are doing. It's my own stuff and everything. But just RIP to Rohan, and I hope he knows that he's missed by a lot of people.
Yeah, we do. We miss the hell out of him. Miss you too, man. We'll be in touch for sure. For sure, man.
Thank you. And again, I hate always coming on people listening to me talk about myself for an hour, but
it's fine.
Sorry,
we like it.
It's fine, brother. I enjoyed it. Thanks for calling.
So good to talk to you.
Yeah.
You too.
Yeah, don't work too hard. See, like he's such a good dude too, man. I have to give some shout outs to some people real quick, Jess.
Sure. Yeah.
So for March, it looks like, so we got Michael, all the people that from March, Michael, Monica, Janice, Dragon Rose, Brandy, Georgiana, and Casper. Thanks for helping the station out and donating, and Jess and all the station people. We all donate towards the station too. All of us do. And then as far as this show is concerned, as far as like, I got some hate going, like Patreon is kind of difficult sometimes. All right. But here's the thing. Who are the new people I have to say hi to? Okay. So Blissfully Wicked, thanks for getting a tarot reading. And that will be coming out shortly, but you haven't answered my question. If you have a question, then I'll just do a general reading. Sultan, Anna, and Gareth and Jared, thank you guys for joining the Patreon. And yeah, we are like we used to get the support, like we'd hit the goals for the station and stuff, and like back in the day we'd hit it in like a week. Boom, just a week
fast.
But that was before eggs were $5 a carton and Cokes. When did Cokes become $3? Like if you're gonna get a soda pop, it's $3 and something now.
No, yeah.
So stupid.
It's so ridiculous.
So stupid.
Things have gone up fast.
But we always need your support, like, and we don't thank you guys enough. We definitely got to do stuff for the donors, and we got to do something more for you guys. Like, I want to turn the Fringe FM. I think we all want to turn the Fringe FM into what Nightstalker's talking about. We just need to hit that damn Powerball. That's what we need to do. We need to hit that Powerball. I keep
buying it, and nothing keeps happening.
Yeah, it's at like 1.5. What is it? 1.5
billion. We had 2 billion. Like we had Mega Millions last week was $1 billion. This week Powerball was $1 million. I was like, I gotta hit one of these, right?
Yeah, you're welcome, Nightstalker. Thanks for calling. I'm gonna hit you up for sure. Oh, great call. But no, like it was good to have Nightstalker on and talk about. I wanted to talk about Rohan tonight, but I damn sure didn't want to do it by myself. You know,
I understand that because I tried to do that and I ended up just silently crying for like an hour or so last week.
So, like, here's the thing, man. I'll say, like, there has been people that have there's only been like really a couple of people that have put their heart and soul into something, into the Lighting the Void or the Fringe, and it's not even theirs, right? Usually people come around and they'll help a little bit, and then they realize it's not. Just like anything that you get into, you see this big dream and then you realize, oh, there's work. I got to go, you know, or I don't want to do it all. You're going to make me do it, or whatever it is. Like Rohan was there and did like hard ass work, not like grinding ass work that we have to do. He pitched in, he conversated, he was there in ups, downs, all arounds, right? Like he was there. And I'm not sure. I think I wonder sometimes if like we were there enough for him. Like I don't know. Like I reached out. I swear I feel like that I messaged him a few times and said, "Hey man, where are you? What are you doing?" But maybe it's not enough. Like this is the stuff we just don't know. But all I know is he's like one of the best dudes I ever met in my life. And then we're gonna miss you, brother.
100%. Like, no one will ever be like Rohan.
Nope.
No.
And if you want to check out some of his work, if you don't know, like you're new and you don't know who we're talking about, and you want to hear him speak, you can listen to him on older episodes of my show, Jess's show, probably Michael Strange's show, some other people's shows. He has a podcast out called The Exiled Mind Podcast, and I believe it's out everywhere. Like I think it's on.
Yeah, I think it's everywhere too.
He was one of us. He always will be one of us, for sure. We love you, brother.
I do.
You too, Night Stalker. We're gonna be bugging the hell out of you.
We love you too, Night Stalker, and I'm so good that he was able to call in tonight. That made me really happy.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna get out of here, you guys. Support if you can. Support everybody. Just support. Leave reviews if you can. Right, for all of us. Leave reviews. Yeah. Even if you and for this show, even if you hate me, I gotta have a few haters in there. I can't stand to see like 5 out of 5 stars. That shit ain't real. There's got to be a few in there. It's like I can't stand this sumbitch. Right? Like put those in there too, and then. We'll be back tomorrow night. I promise you I'll try to get Nightstalker on or something. And
Night Stalker.
Thank you guys for all the happy birthdays. That was really sweet.
Yeah, happy birthday, Joe.
Too old for this shit. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Sweet dreams. Hold on a second, Jess.